Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Arizona.
It's a Denver getaway, looking for a game and a series win tonight, our final game at Coors Field this year. And the D-backs, following yesterday's doubleheader sweep of the Rockies, a chance to make it 3 straight here in Colorado, but they'll have to do it without Goldie. Goldie gone. He's not here. It's the D-backs and the Rockies. We're set for baseball on Fox Sports Arizona. And good evening from Coors Field. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthune, Bob Brentley along the way. The series finale here, the Diamondbacks and the Rockies. But no Goldie tonight. He is back home in Phoenix. Here's Chip Hale.
Goldie's back home in Phoenix. I flew home last night after the game. They're in the process right now of having the baby, so we're excited for them. And as soon as we know, the guys will, we'll let them know that the baby's been born. So. We'll be without him, obviously, tonight, and then probably the first game in Chicago. So it gives the other guys an opportunity to play and get some at-bats, and it's exciting for them.
And that means Jake Lamb playing first base tonight. Bob, and Brandon Drury, the rookie, is starting at third.
Yeah, it's obviously tough to be without Goldie, but as Chip said, it's an opportunity for some of these other guys to get in there and show what they can do. Jake Lamb getting a little rep down there at first base, and Drury in the lineup again tonight. So as much as we'd like to see Goldie in there, it's a good opportunity for the other guys.
And he'll be up against Rockies rookie John Gray on the mound against Chase Anderson. 2 starts, Bob, since Chase's demotion to the minor leagues. It was only a day or so, but so far so good.
Yeah, against the Reds 2 starts ago was really good. Shut him out through 6 2/3 on 5 hits. Last time out against the Oakland A's, pitched into the 6th inning again. 5 hits, did give up 2 runs against Oakland, but fastball command has been much better. Velocity has actually been up a little bit, so hopefully Chase will keep going down the same road he's been on his last 2 starts.
D-backs trying to make it 3 straight here over the Rockies and get a series victory. Chase Anderson set to take the mound for the Diamondbacks against the former Rockies #1 pick, John Gray. Bullpen, a little tired after a long day yesterday. We'll check in with the relief corps when we come back. And then it's first pitch, the Diamondbacks and the Rockies right here on Fox Sports Arizona. Sports Arizona is brought to you in part by Cox Gigablast. How will you live the gig life? By Lone Butte Casino. You're in for more winning moments at Lone Butte Casino. And by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter.
Welcome back to beautiful Denver, Colorado, the Rocky Mountains, and we are at Coors Field for the final game of this 4-game series thanks to a doubleheader yesterday. And it's not easy to sweep a doubleheader, but how about 2, in fact? The Diamondbacks sweeping 2 doubleheaders this season against the Rockies here at Coors Field. Now, one thing you know you have to have is effectiveness from your bullpen, especially here in the altitude. 2 games yesterday from the D-backs bullpen, 5 2/3 innings, 2 for 2 in save opportunities. Daniel Hudson getting the save in Game 1 and Josh Colmenter getting the save in Game 2 with Brad Ziegler resting. A 3.18 ERA, just 1 home run allowed, and no inherited runner scoring. That is key. So Chip Hale, no doubt, pleased with the pen yesterday, including a couple of guys who were recently called up.
I thought Burgos came in and was electric. And that was the stuff we saw early on with him in spring training. So that'd be a big boost to us if he can continue to pitch that way. And obviously Coleman was the MVP to be able to pitch in 2 games like that. But our starters gave us a chance. You know, Ruby went deep enough, and that was important in that second game. And Corbin, of course, was really, really good yesterday. So I think it was a good team effort all the way around.
Well, that it certainly was. Solid starting pitching provided and by the bullpen as well, coming up big. So they're looking for the same result here tonight as the Diamondbacks will take on rookie John Gray for the Rockies. Chase Anderson on the hill for the Arizona Diamondbacks as the D-backs look to take 3 of 4.
The Diamondbacks and the Rockies and the D-backs following their doubleheader sweep yesterday. Now it's 65 wins for the year, so they've already passed their win total from all of last season. And there's been no shortage of offense between these two teams all year long and in this series, Bob. So these two starters, this could be a tough one tonight.
Yeah, if you've watched the first 3 games of this series, it probably would have been a good idea to just keep Chase Anderson away from the ballpark and away from a television set until his start here tonight, because it can be intimidating for young pitchers, and the Rockies have a young pitcher of their own on the mound tonight in John Gray.
Yeah, they are very excited about this young man. He's your Arizona Ford starting pitcher for the Rockies. Their top pitching prospect, 23-year-old John Gray. the 3rd overall pick in the draft only 2 years ago. And tonight, he's making just his 6th major league start. Here's Chip Hale.
We saw him a little bit in spring training. Good velocity, good changeup, good breaking ball. So I don't know how long they'll let him go, what kind of innings restrictions he's on right now after a long year. So we'll just have to battle him. We face all these young, good pitchers. Sonny Gray, same thing. So he just got to get in there. And until you get in against him, I think Drury's one of the only guys that's faced him and has an idea what he throws and how it looks coming out of his hand. But probably first time around, just feel him out.
John Gray, there is no relation to Sonny Gray, the Oakland ace who we just saw. John Gray, they believe he is their future #1 starter. Their first rounder from 2 years ago, the classic big power right-hander, 6'4", 235. University of Oklahoma, the potential is certainly there. The results so far, well, they've been a little bit mixed.
Yeah, the Rockies are 0-5 in games that John Gray has started this year. He hasn't pitched deep into many ball games. 89 pitches last time out, his season high. We're not quite sure how much Walt Weiss is willing to extend the young man here tonight. A fastball, slider, changeup combination. And even though Chip said they want to feel him out and get a look at him that first time around, the numbers would say you want to jump him early. 12 of the 14 runs he's given up in his 5 starts have been in the first 2 innings of the game.
He has got a power fastball and a big-time slider. They're trying to get him to throw more sinkers and changeups, which they believe is the formula in this ballpark. The lineup for Chip Hale tonight.
Ender Inciarte leading off out in left field. Phil Goslin at second base. A.J. Pollock. It seems unusual for anybody to be hitting in that spot except for Paul Goldschmidt. But A.J. playing center field, hitting third. David Peralta in right field. Wellington Castillo catching. Jake Lamb at first base. Brandon Drury at third base. Chris Owings at short. And Chase Anderson on the mound.
The crew chief, Mike Everett, is our plate umpire tonight. Ender Inciarte set to go, and we are underway at Coors Field for the final time this year. Ender at 301 and 4 home runs. As always in this ballpark, an eye on the horizon and the sky. It is mostly cloudy right now, some patches of blue here and there. And it's been like this pretty much all day, but there is no rain in the forecast, at least nothing serious headed our way, so hope for the best. Two and one. Ender has 4 hits in the series, including a double and an RBI. Phil Goslin, another start at second base. He's on deck. A.J. Pollock in the hole. A leadoff walk. John Gray has been compared to a Sasquatch, a Bigfoot, Loch Ness monster by some Rockies writers and fans. They've heard amazing things. It's kind of out there somewhere, but can it really be true? Can this potential type of pitcher actually be a Rocky? And they're starting to actually see signs of that as he makes his first few big league starts. He's just kind of been this enigma out there for a couple of years.
Well, Rockies fans have been teased before with potential of young pitchers, but it seems like once they hit Colorado Springs, where the AAA club used to be, and then here at the major league level in Coors Field, some of that potential disappears.
Well, Walt Weiss has said when talking about John Gray, they see the radar gun. He throws a fastball. It can hit the very upper 90s. You see the body type. He looks the part. He's a big guy out there. All those things a big-time pitcher looks like. He has. But as Weiss says, it's now just a matter of maturing and knowing that he belongs at this level. Keeping Inciarte close down there. Phil Goslin 2 for 8 in this series, 4 RBIs. His first action with the D-backs following his trade from Atlanta. Doubled and homered in the first game of the doubleheader here yesterday. Ender bluffs and holds. That pitch misses away. It's 1-0. This was Phil Goslin, and this was crushed.
Nice quick swing by Goslin. He's put together some good at-bats in a very short amount of time here with the Diamondbacks. Been very impressive with his strike zone knowledge, and when he does get a pitch in the zone, he attacks it and has barreled it up fairly consistently.
Heard Tony La Russa this morning on his weekly radio spot with the Doug and Wolf radio show, and he told the guys about Goslin. This is a guy that stands up there and you can tell that he can hit. That was Tony La Russa's take. He has really made an impression.
Well, that's because Tony's seen a few hitters.
I'd say so. He knows what he's looking at, that's for sure. A ball and a strike. Late time granted by Mike Everett. Ciarte takes off for second, and Goslin hits it in the vacated hole left open by Reyes, and Henderson there at third.
Boy, was that a thing of beauty.
Sure was.
Yeah, most of the time on a hit and run, the hitter tries to push the ball to the right side of the field, figuring the second baseman's going to be the coverage guy, but this time it was Reyes who had coverage duties at second, and Goslin finds that huge hole on the left side of the infield, putting D-backs on the corners for A.J. Pollock.
In the Goldie spot tonight, A.J. Last time he hit third last September, coincidentally not ironically, here at Colorado. 321 and 15 home runs. John Gray in immediate trouble. A walk and a single. And facing a very hot hitter in A.J. Pollock, one of the best in the league, certainly since the All-Star break. A.J. in the series 5 for 12. A triple, a pair of homers. He's got 4 RBIs. In the seats, 1-1. A.J. Pollock so far here at Coors this week.
Pulled one way out of here to left field. And then just to prove that he's not just a dead pull hitter, shoots one to right center field last night into that Rockies bullpen right over that 375 mark.
That second one off the slider, he said he recognized slider, didn't alter his swing at all, just stayed on the plane and took it out of here. A 357 career hitter in this ballpark. In fact, if you go by OPS, which of course is on base percentage plus slugging percentage, among Diamondbacks with at least 30 plate appearances, A.J. Pollock is the best hitter in this ballpark in D-backs history. One and two. They're making John Gray work. The Rockies have been very careful with this young man. There's been a lot of discussion about the way they've handled him. The workload has been closely monitored. He's thrown over 80 pitches in a big league start, only once so far. And Walt Weiss has said there are pretty specific parameters in place when John Gray's on the mound. They have their marching orders with this young man. AJ giving him a big league at bat right here.
Combination of a pesky leadoff hitter and a power hitting 3-hitter tonight.
Go get him.
Already seen 5 pitches in this at bat. Has to pay benefits moving forward. If Gray is still in the ball game for his second plate appearance, more pitches you can see that first time around, the better chances you'll get one to your liking the second time around.
Missed inside at 96, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rockies are trying to turn their starters into sinker changeup guys. John Gray is a power fastball slider guy. So he's been made to throw a lot of changeups in the minor leagues, trying to develop that pitch rather than relying on his power stuff. And there are a lot of questions about whether a guy with this type of swing and miss stuff should try to be a pitch to contact guy and change who he is to fit Coors Field. It's they believe, talking to the scouts, that it may have affected his command and his stuff, not quite as sharp as it was in the minors and in college.
I think the hitters will tell you how you need to pitch, and certainly here at Coors Field, high four-seamers and hanging breaking balls tend to get hit a long way, so you can understand the Rockies' organizational philosophy, looking for sinker ballers, put the ball on the ground, keep it in the ballpark. But if a guy's strength is a power fastball, power slider, I think you got to let him pitch to his strength until the opposing hitters prove he can't do it.
There goes Gosselin, A.J. Pollock. A lot of foul ball souvenirs here. John Gray was a guy who would throw 100 miles an hour at the University of Oklahoma. That was pitching once a week. Now, obviously, every 5th day. He's 94 to 96-ish. With that upper 80s slider that they're hoping will get more consistent. And along the way, develop that changeup and that 2-seam sinking fastball. How about this? We saw this happen to Ruby De La Rosa last night when he was in there against Christian Adames, and Ruby, it just sort of seemed like, got a little fed up and drilled him at 100 miles an hour. Enough is enough. And then the Rockies retaliated, and both benches were warned, and that was it. But Ruby was in this situation last night, and it seemed just kind of get fed up.
Well, the good news is when the Rockies did retaliate, the Diamondbacks turned it into a 4 spot in that 7th inning.
And opened up that big inning for sure. Still 2-2. Well, John Gray's had to work a whole bunch here. A lot of throwovers, both when Inciarte was over there and now Gosselin. Creeping up on 20 pitches, and he's yet to record an out. Big time.
10 pitches, this is bad. You couldn't foul off this many pitches if you tried to. This is remarkable. Boy, John Gray, when you're a Friday night starter for a major program like the University of Oklahoma, and you feature upper 90s gas and a good slider, you might only face 1 or 2 hitters in the opposing lineup on a Friday night that can even think about hitting you. A little bit different in the big leagues. They're used to seeing 96, 98 every day.
Out to right field, Cargo makes a diving grab. Ender tags up and scores. Gosselin holds, and it's 1-0 Diamondbacks. So Gray gets the out finally, but it cost him a run.
Quite a battle. A.J. rewarded with an RBI on this sinking liner into right field. Yeah, once Cargo left his feet to make that catch, it was going to be an easy tag and score for Ender Inciarte.
Nice play by Carlos Gonzalez. Brings up David Peralta, the cleanup man tonight. So it's 1 out. Goslin still at first. 1-0 Diamondbacks, and Peralta steps in. Rockies have the shift on. There's that high heat at 96, 0-1. David at 305 and 14 homers. He's a career .349 hitter in this ballpark, but he's never homered at Coors Field. Base hit right through the shift. Goslin will stop at second. First and second, 1 out for Wellington Castillo.
Let's take a look at our Valley Honda keys to the ball game tonight with Chase Anderson on the mound after back-to-back good starts. We want him to stay on track. And with Goldie out of the lineup, we need the freight train to be full speed ahead tonight. David Peralta already with 1 hit in the game. Beat that shift on the right side. And really, it's more than just David. Everybody's going to have to pick up some of the slack with Goldie gone.
Steve Foster, the pitching coach out there, to have a word with the most valuable pitching prospect in this organization, John Gray, the big right-hander. A walk, a single, a sac fly RBI, and another single. First and second, 1 out.
Well, we've talked about this at length with the Diamondbacks, specifically their starting pitchers, especially early in the season. The pace. You give a young guy too much time to stand out there on the mound and think, and he's not going to be just throwing the ball. He's going to be aiming the ball. Taking forever between pitches. That lengthy at bat by A.J. Pollock with all the foul balls. He was taking more and more time between each pitch. Get the ball, get on the rubber, let's go. Don't think you can only hurt the ball club.
'97 fouled off, and he's down 0-2. Wellington started behind the plate last night in the second game of the doubleheader. He went 0 for 4. That snapped a 5-game hitting streak. Those high heat four seamers, 96, 97. It's all up. He's got that in his back pocket whenever he wants it, it seems. '25th pitch of this first inning on the way. Hard to short. Reyes for one. LeMahieu, and they turn it. John Gray, the rookie, labors through a 1-0 Diamondback first. Here comes chin-ups for Chase here at Coors. Anderson spotted a 1-0 lead, set for the home half of the first. He is your Arizona Ford starting pitcher for the D-backs tonight. And following that brief demotion to the minor leagues, he has bounced back nicely and pitched pretty well. Only 2 runs allowed in 2 starts. Here he is.
Mainly keeping the fastball down below the knees. Knees at the knees or below the knees for me, because you got to get ground balls. Like, see, you leave the ball up, it's going to get hammered here. It's going to go a long way. So for me to keep the ball down and mix my pitches, and mainly just attack the hitters to get ahead. First pitch strikes are key for me. I think key for anybody pitching in this park. So if I can do that, I feel like I can get deep in the ball game.
Well, the ERA for Chase has dropped after each one of his last 2 starts. But Bob, this is a tough lineup in there tonight. These guys can mash.
Yeah, they've got the A club in there tonight after the doubleheader yesterday. They kind of split it up between game 1 and game 2, but this is their A lineup in there tonight against Chase Anderson.
And Charlie Blackmon leads it off. There's the strike, 0-1. Blackmon 291 and 15 homers. All of those 15 homers have come from the leadoff spot. Oh, a little jam shot to shallow center. It's going to drop in front of A.J. Blackmon's aboard. Just a little bleeder out there for a leadoff single.
Well, you talk to pitchers, and they'll tell you those are the base hits that kill you in this ballpark. You're going to give up your share of home runs. Your team's going to hit their share of home runs, but it's the little floaters like this that in any other ballpark in baseball, the center fielder would probably be playing 20 feet shallower out there and make that into a routine pop-up into shallow center field, but as it is, it drops for a leadoff hit.
And keep Blackmon close. He's got 36 stolen bases. Here's Jose Reyes. He has been caught 13 times, Charlie Blackmon. Reyes arrived from Toronto, part of the package the Rockies got from the Blue Jays in the Tulo deal. 277 and 7 homers. You see the numbers just with Colorado. It's been 28 games. So just like John Gray, Chase Anderson will not have the luxury of working from the windup and just settling in here. Immediate traffic on the bases around him. Reyes drops it down. Drury will let it go foul. A lineup for Walt Weiss and his Colorado Rockies.
Charlie Blackmon leading off once again in center field. Jose Reyes at shortstop. Carlos Gonzalez out in right field. Nolan Arenado 6 for 13 in this series with a couple of long balls. He'll be at third base. DJ LeMahieu at second. Ben Paulson at first. Nick Hundley doing the catching. Kyle Parker out in left field. And John Gray, the right-hander, on the mound.
0-1 on Reyes. Punts it one more time, and again it's foul. Take a look at the Diamondbacks defensively around Chase Anderson. A different look tonight.
Not in the outfield. Inciarte in left, Pollock in center, Peralta in right. The infield, there are some changes. Brandon Drury at third base, Chris Owings at short, Phil Goslin at second base. Jake Lamb moves across the diamond to first base tonight for Paul Goldschmidt. Wellington Castillo doing the catching for right-hander Chase Anderson.
Lamb holding Blackmon on the bag at first. 0-2 on Reyes. And get used to the idea of seeing different infielders weave through here. The Diamondbacks have created a really nice competitive situation among their infielders here in the final month of the year. They're going to get a good look at a lot of guys as they try and evaluate where they are and where they're headed for 2016. Two and two. Reyes with a pair of hits in the series, both doubles. And as a switch hitter, he's about 50 points better from the left-hand side. Blackman holds it first. Reyes shoots it foul down the left field line.
Rockies did not take any batting practice on the field here at Coors today. The Diamondbacks had optional batting practice, and as per normal, most of the guys showed up for optional batting practice.
Would you prefer that sometimes they didn't?
Well, if you don't want them to, just lock the bat. Bats are going to be locked up. I mean, it's understandable. Guys have their routines, and whether it's optional or mandatory, these guys want to do the same things every day. And I think sometimes as a manager or as a hitting coach, you have to make that decision. Hey, guys are looking a little tired. Bats are slowing down a little bit. Let's take a day off. Let's just relax, do some video work, go over the advance report, and then go play a ball game.
Blackman takes off on the 3-2 pitch. Reyes fouls it off.
Like Joe Madden, what do you call it? American Legion weekend.
Yeah.
Last weekend, he said when you were 15 or 16 years old, you used to drive to the ballpark, get out of your car, put your cleats on, play catch, and go play a ball game. You didn't work out for 4 hours before the game.
It's a long year. Blackman takes off again. Reyes fouls it off again, and here we go.
We canceled batting practice several times in that 01 season, more to give the coaches a day off than to give the players a day off.
Why did the coaches need a day off?
Somebody's got to throw that batting practice every day.
Was it you?
Well, I threw, usually I threw the extra BP early in the afternoon at home and on the road, but Chris Spire and Eddie Rodriguez, these guys threw every day, and every now and then they could use a little bit of a rest.
Blackman takes off one more time. Reyes pops it up. Foul ground near the Rocky dugout. Beef Wellington gives it a look, but it's in the seats. And Reyes is proving just as difficult an out for Chase Anderson as A.J. Pollock was for John Gray. Well, Chip Hale throws a lot of batting practice. Chip throws a ton of BP. Glenn Sherlock, Andy Green, Mark Reed. Another 3-2 pitch. Blackman off again. Reyes hits it in the hole. It rolls into right. Blackman will get third. Boy, these innings are starting to look awfully familiar.
Well, this time it's Goslin that has the coverage at second base, as Charlie Blackman was on the move that time, and Jose Reyes finds a hole on the right side of the field.
A bloop and an infield hit. 2 singles for the Rockies so far. They're on the corners. Nobody out for Cargo. Carlos Gonzalez, 268. His 31 home runs tie him with Bryce Harper for second in the National League, behind only the guy on deck, Nolan Arenado. Cargo followed by Arenado. A couple of tough outs here for Chase. Good start, 0-1. Some familiar names on that list.
Giancarlo Stanton, if I saw correctly, on a rehab assignment. Should be back relatively soon.
Deep left center field, a long run for Pollock. He's got it at the track. Blackman will tag and tie the ball game. Cargo hit that a long way for an RBI.
I was just keeping an eye on A.J. Pollock to see if he broke it down at all, but he had a beat on that ball. He knew it was going to stay in the field of play, never took his eye off of it. Tracks it right back to the warning track, but Blackman able to tag up and score.
So a run is in. Ray is still at first. 1 out for Arenado. 280, playing spectacular defense and leading the National League in home runs and RBIs. And oh, by the way, he's only 24. The youngest Rockies player ever selected to the All-Star game. First pitch, he jumps on it, as he so often has in this series. Reyes will watch it go. It carried over the head of Pollock, and it's out of here. A home run for Arenado. And that really fooled AJ out there. It looked like he would certainly catch it shy of the warning track, but it just kept on going, and it's 3-1 Rockies.
It almost makes you think that when AJ looked away from the ball, he lost it. He's looking up into the gray skies here above Coors Field. Once again, ball squared up to straightaway center, and AJ just kind of started gliding back toward the wall in center field. Yeah, right there, you could see palms up. He had no idea where that ball was, and as it turns out, he couldn't have caught it anyway.
So number 33 for Arenado, the National League leader. And 4 batters into the Rockies' first inning. It's 3-1 Colorado, and Chase Anderson is in trouble. DJ LeMahieu now. There's no break in this lineup. Here comes LeMahieu, 6th in the league in hitting at .315. Strike one. Base hit. That's base hits for 4 of the first 5 Rockies hitters against Chase Anderson.
And the 1 out was a drive to the warning track in left center field that produced an RBI.
Mike Harkey.
Not fooling anybody right now.
And Mike Harkey is in no hurry to get out there.
Well, on June 23rd, Chase Anderson pitched in this ballpark, and he's very familiar with the long ball. Gave up 3 of them in this ball game. 2 of them to Nolan Arenado, both tape measure blasts out there left field. You heard Chase talking about his own scouting report before the game, trying to get ahead, trying to throw strike one. But if you have an aggressive swinging ball club like these Rockies, it better be a quality strike one. You don't just throw it down the middle of the plate and hope that they're going to take it for a called strike, because these guys don't like to take strikes.
His career ERA in this ballpark over 8.5. Ben Paulson. Diamondbacks have the shift on.
Well, if it's possible for those numbers to be worse, think about this. He was 3-0 with an ERA of 1.5 in his first 3 starts against the Rockies.
Paulson hit the walk-off winner here Monday, 2 for 7 in the series. Well, this year against the Rockies, Chase Anderson in 3 starts coming into tonight 0-2. The ERA was 9, and he had given up 5 homers, and now make it 6.
One way to keep guys from hanging out there and taking aggressive swings at every pitch in the strike zone is to loosen them up a little bit. Make them move their feet. Don't let them be too comfortable.
Popped it up. Very light sky up there. Still tricky to find the baseball, as A.J. Pollock discovered. And Chris Owings with a shift on runs it down in foul ground, and that's the 2nd out. Brings up the catcher, Nick Hundley. Hundley 299 and 10 homers. He's got 3 hits in the series. He's also struck out 4 times. Seventh man to bat in the Colorado first. Chase ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Coming off another encouraging outing in his previous start. That was last Friday against Oakland. 6 innings, gave up just 2 runs on 5 hits. And that after he kept the Reds scoreless for 6 2/3 2 starts ago at Cincinnati. One and two. The ballpark does not seem to be a great fit for Chase Anderson.
I talk about it all the time coming in here. It can get between your ears as a pitcher. Take away some of your pitches, take away some of your locations because you're trying to keep the ball in the ballpark.
You have to watch LeMahieu over there at first. He does have 20 stolen bases. And there he goes. Pitches away for a ball, and LeMahieu is in there with number 21.
Pretty good jump over there by LeMahieu. Wellington unloads it quickly. A low 1-hop throw, unfortunately, on the wrong side of the bag down there at second base. You don't mind that 1-hop throw if it's either over the bag or on the second base side, but if it strays over on that shortstop side, too tough to pick it and get the tag back.
LeMahieu with those big strides at 6'4". It's in the dirt, and it's full on Hundley, 3-2. The freight train. Get on the tracks. That was one of your keys to the game. Nice little theme there.
Hey, with the pace of this first inning, you could get on that train and beat a Chicago before we get into the 5th inning. We played 6 hours and 11 minutes in 2 ball games yesterday. We might top that here tonight in 1 game.
Castillo hangs on. There's the strikeout for Chase, and he strands LeMahieu. But on the Arenado homer and the cargo sack fly, the Rockies take a 3-1 lead. is brought to you in part by your Valley Honda dealers, where you'll get more standard features for less money. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Mix One, great taste, no face, available at local retailers. Colorado, Rocky Mountain High, lots of offense so far. Diamondbacks down 3-1 as we start the second inning. John Gray and Chase Anderson, but don't get too discouraged because Gray is certainly no lock here. If you go back to his last home start here at Coors against the Mets and the first inning of this game against the Diamondbacks, John Gray has allowed 13 of his last 20 batters to reach base safely here at Coors Field. So there should be more Diamondback offense on the way as Jake Lamb opens up the second. Jake getting the start at first base tonight. No Goldie. He is back home in the Valley, attempting to become a dad. Fingers crossed for he and Amy. Flew back after the ball game last night. And Goldie is expected back Saturday for the game against the Cubs, so he'll miss this game. Off day tomorrow. They expect he'll miss Friday's opener against John Lester and be back Saturday at Wrigley Field. A beautiful night here in downtown Denver. Rockies have the shift on for Lamb. And he's down 1-2.
I'm going to go way out on a limb here, partner, make a prediction.
Yeah.
I think next year you're going to see a lot more guys trying to bunt for base hit against these shifts.
Yeah, the league will adjust.
Absolutely. That's the nature of the game. It goes in cycles. Teams defensively found ways to nullify some of the offense on the opposing teams with the shifts.
Or you could just knock it back up the middle.
Or do that. But, you know, we've seen some guys try. We've seen David Peralta show bunt a few times against that big shift. And I think guys realize there's a lot of cheap base hits. Just get the ball down in the grass on the left side of the infield and you could jog to first base with a base hit. Especially leading off innings.
The defense has adjusted to the offense. Now make the defense adjust to the adjustment.
Yep.
Rookie Brandon Drury.
Back and forth.
Major League debut yesterday in Game 1 for Brandon Drury, the 23-year-old. He was 0 for 4. And getting his second big league start tonight. Well, Rob Manfred, the new commissioner, in the spring training part when things were really just getting going, gave an interview and said that they were seriously looking at outlawing the shifts, and everybody went nuts. The internet exploded. Well, you can't do that, blah, blah. But eventually the narrative that you found was you're going to create a generation of better hitters that will be forced to use the whole field. A guy who just pulls the ball all the time, he won't survive anymore. And so hopefully we'll see that over the upcoming years, guys who adjust to the adjustment made by the defense and spray the ball all over the place, whether it's a bunt or a single the other way.
Well, you'd like to think hitters are smart enough to realize that, and you know, maybe it kind of snuck up on some of the guys last year and this year, but you know, with each passing season we're seeing more and more of those exaggerated pull shifts, and at some point the hitters are going to have to smarten up and try to beat those shifts by going the opposite way, by dropping a bunt from time to time. Force that defense to come back and play straight up, and then it opens up the entire field.
Well, Brandon Drury will be happy anywhere the ball lands safely, looking for that first big league hit. There's the family back with us tonight. And as Chip Hale mentioned, one of the few guys that is Diamondback lineup in their time in the minor league. In fact, Brandon Drury, it's a very small sample size, but 1 for 2 against John Gray with a single and a walk. And earlier you saw the numbers on Brandon at AAA Reno. He's basically split the year in the minor leagues, half at AA Mobile, the other half at Reno with Phil Nevin. He's ahead 3-0. Reach for the Diamondbacks in the second. Told you about John Gray. He's been a little shaky lately, and he continues to struggle.
Hey fans, when the D-backs win, you win at Papa John's. The day after every Diamondbacks win, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code D-backs50 at papajohns.com.
2 on, nobody out for Chris Owings. CO 239, 4 home runs, and having a good series here at Coors Field. He's got 4 hits.
Yeah, we see him everywhere we go, but it seems like Colorado is one of the favored destinations for D-backs fans.
To me, it's an easy one. It's not too far a flight. The weather is fingers crossed, but it's cooler obviously here.
Sure.
Oftentimes nice. It's a great place to come a couple of days in the middle of a week and see some Diamondback baseball. Enjoy the downtown area here. It's a great place to walk around. They did a wonderful job with this whole area, all kinds of bars and restaurants. '96 gets the high strike call. CO down 0-2. He's hit safely in 3 straight games. John Gray's command has not always been as sharp as they would like it to be. They tweaked his mechanics when he was in the minors a little bit to try and improve that. The results have been mixed. Some scouts believe that it's made it a little easier for hitters to see the baseball. And it's also dropped the power on the fastball and the slider a bit. But the command has never been especially sharp. And Owings knocks it into center. Here comes Jake Lamb. He will score, and it's a 3-2 ball game. RBI single for Chris Owings. Good at bat there by CO after he was down 0-2.
Bangs this one right back where it came from. Fastball down and out over the plate. That's a pitch that CO's been fouling off to the right side quite a bit lately, but this time barrels it up into center field for an RBI base hit.
So a single, a walk, and a single open up the Diamondbacks' second. And Chase Anderson a chance here to move the runners along. First and second, nobody out. Corners come in. Paulson creeping in from first. There's strike one.
As you said, Paulson creeping in from first base and then charging in as the ball is delivered to home plate. For Chase Anderson, you'd like to deaden that ball on the third base side of the field, force Nolan Arenado to come in and make the play.
That stayed fair. They'll get one, and they will not get two. The throw pulled him off the bag. But LeMahieu insisting he got the tag on the runner. They're able to go to third for the force on Drury. Did they get the out at first as well?
Ball bunted right out in front of home plate. Ooh, man, that looked like a foul ball to begin with. Yeah, Chase Anderson's left hand may have hit DJ LeMahieu's glove. It was hard to tell where his foot was at that particular time, but we're going to get a look at it.
Watch this ball. Well, this is the play at first. Does LeMahieu tag him or not? Chris Siegel, the first base umpire, ruled that the throw took the foot off the bag.
Oh, yeah. The glove got the hand.
And that ball, when Chase bunted it, had so much spin, it bounced and went right back toward Hundley. It was a tailor-made hop for the catcher there for the easy force at third. And it's another replay review brought to us by Mix One.
I assume they're reviewing the play at first base. Clearly, LeMahieu touched Chase Anderson's left hand with his glove, and I think he had his foot on the base anyway.
Yeah, I think you're right. The foot is on the bag.
The question for me is, was that a fair or a foul ball? It's not where the catcher is, it's where the ball is when it's touched. And Chase pops it out there in front of home plate. Little backspin on that bunt. It kind of checks up and comes back toward Hundley. Well, Mike Everett right on top of it, said the ball was in fair territory when Hundley picked it up.
He is out at first. So they get the double play. A disaster there for the Diamondbacks. First and second, nobody out, and it turns into a double play. So in this series, the Diamondbacks have hit into 6 double plays and 1 triple play. Make it 7 now, double plays. And an updated look at the replay review standings brought to you by Mix One. So now we have Chris Owings, the runner at second. 2 outs, and here's Ender Inciarte, who walked and scored his first time up. That's 2-5-4 on the double play. In the air, left center, long run for Charlie Blackmon, still going, and he runs it down. Well, the Diamondbacks do manage to get one. Chris Owings down 0-2 in the count. The RBI single right back up the box, and it's a 3-2 Colorado lead.
Asking Chip Hale for about a week about Friday's starter. He finally did make the announcement today. It's our Chevron upcoming pitching matchup Friday from Wrigley Field. It will be Zach Godley. He'll be recalled. He was, of course, a 10th round pick of the Cubs in 2013, so he'll be going up against his former team. Came over in the Miguel Montero trade. And in 5 games, 3 starts, guys, he has 4 wins this season for the Diamondbacks, a 1.90 ERA. They are managing the innings. That's been the story all year with Godley, and he'll get another start, though, against the Giants at Chase, and then he will enter the bullpen as they manage those innings.
Of course, he was a reliever in the Cubs organization last year, so he is way over his innings from last season, but he has been a starter before, certainly in college. Kyle Parker getting the start in left field tonight, leads off the Rockies second against Chase Anderson. And there's the strikeout, second strikeout for Chase. It's a beautiful night here in downtown Denver. Finally got some perfect weather, Bob. It took us all year. This is our last game here this year, but we got one scenic day in.
Oh, was that the last time we were in here? It rained every day.
Yeah.
Every morning we'd wake up to the same gray skies, rain falling. Just had no idea whether you were going to be able to get the game in or not. That's why we had to play the doubleheader yesterday.
Yeah, the sky right now looks like a watercolor painting. It's just spectacular. Here's John Gray, 0 for 5 in his major league career with 3 strikeouts at the plate. Well, it's up to Chase, much like Ruby De La Rosa did last night, to settle down after a bumpy first and keep his team in the ball game. Give him a chance to win. Ruby was sensational in that regard last night after that very rocky first inning he had. After the first, he gave up only 2 more hits and went 6 innings. 3 consecutive strikeouts now for Chase, quickly 2 down. It was funny after the ball game to listen to Ruby try and explain what happened on that balk. And he laughed, he joked, he said, you know what, I have no idea. I don't know what I was doing, I don't know what I was trying to do, I don't know what happened. He was really funny about it afterward. And of course, he could afford to laugh. He was able to keep his team in the ball game, came back and got the win. But that was one of those what happened there moments.
It was almost like he had too many things going through his mind at the same time. It looked to me like he thought he balked. So he tried to step off the rubber quickly before any umpire saw it. And then as he was stepping off the rubber, he thought, well, if I go ahead and throw the ball, they won't call a balk. Well, unfortunately, that's not the way it works. But everybody had a good laugh about it after the ball game, and hopefully he learns his lesson and won't let it happen again.
It was one of those moments where you're up here and you go, wait, what just happened?
What happened? Did somebody call timeout?
Ooh, gets the outside strike call there from Mike Everett. And Chase is at a Charlie Blackmon 1-2. Reaches out and drops it into right field. Peralta over to cut it off. Blackmon will go ahead and charge into second. Look at this throw! He's in there. A tremendous throw by David Peralta. But the second base umpire, Tim Timmons, who's the umpire that ejected Chip Hale in Game 1 yesterday, says safe. Glenn Sherlock on the phone.
An aggressive go that time by Blackmon with 2 outs in the inning. He's trying to get himself into scoring position. Slid to the infield side of the bag there, forcing Chris Owings to come a long way back and apply that tag. It was a really good throw by David. Unfortunately, Charlie Blackmon just outran it.
Charlie Blackmon having a big series here. If this stands, it'll be his 7th hit. And it will stand. The Diamondbacks will not challenge. A 2-out double for Blackmon. That's his 28th double this year. And here's Jose Reyes. Reyes singled and scored his first time up. Really good action on that pitch. Kept it down right at or below the knees, just like Chase said he wanted to do here tonight. Reyes skies this one away up there, just behind the mound for Owings. And they strand the 2-out double. We are through 2. Diamondbacks trail it 3-2.
Cased meats.
They have here at the ballpark sausage on a stick.
Yeah, I was a little tempted to try that the other day, but I passed. I'll wait till next year.
Well, next year you can get that elk brat that
Yeah,
you
the
want.
elk brat.
John Gray out there for the third inning now, 3-2 Rockies. There you go.
Yeah. Let that be a warning to any of you elk in the neighborhood. There might be an elk or two out there beyond the center field fence.
Phil Goslin single his first time up. Look at that sky. Just gorgeous. Good case there of Gray elevating, but not with the fastball, and he clearly fooled Goslin that time. He's been up there with a fastball so far, but at 96-97, that one. The velo wasn't there. Toward the right field corner, long run for Cargo near the line, and he's got it in foul ground. What a way.
You know what that is, partner?
No, don't. I know what it is, but yeah.
Rocky Mountain oysters.
Yeah. What are those again?
Would that be a warning to any bulls that might happen to be in the area?
Huh? I'm going to wait that.
Yeah, I'm going to pass on those.
Somewhere a bull made the ultimate sacrifice so fans could enjoy themselves here at Coors Field.
Because nothing goes together like baseball and, well, 0-1 on AJ, who had a sac fly his first time up for an RBI. Missed at 96, 2 balls and a strike. Hard to third. That's a fair ball down the left field line. A.J. Pollock having a tremendous series here at Coors. Coasts into second with his 32nd double. 6 for 13 in the series. A double, a triple, 2 homers, and 5 RBIs.
One of the prime candidates to win Player of the Month for August. Looks like he wants to win it in September, too. Rips that one down into the left field corner for a 1-out double, putting himself into scoring position for the middle of the D-backs order.
And here he is. Let's get the train on the tracks. David Peralta. A single his first time up. Tying run down there at second with 1 out. Chip Hale was talking about David Peralta the other day. He said he has improved immensely to be able to hit behind Goldie now, or in the case of tonight, behind A.J. Pollock with Goldie gone. Really knows how to handle these situations. And the difference, Chip said, was that now, every time David goes up to take an at-bat, he has a plan. He knows what the pitcher is going to try to do to him, which is completely different from the start of the year. Before, he was basically, Chip said, trying to do one thing, and that was hit the ball to right field. Now, he's using the whole field. And it makes Peralta a very difficult at-bat for any pitcher. And as a result, the numbers are just going through the ceiling.
Well, and we lose sight of the fact sometimes that David hasn't been a full-time hitter, but for 3 years, you know, he's picking up things now that other guys picked up when they were either in the minor leagues or in college or in summer ball. You know, he was throwing bullpen sessions then.
You're right. Can't check his swing. Boy, Gray will elevate with that fastball and do it. He's been doing that all night long. He's got 96, 97. He will throw it up at the letters. Funny, you always hear about this ballpark. Heard it from Chase earlier today. Got to keep it down. It's got to be down. He doesn't hang it. He elevates. Hard to first. Oh, with a nice stop there. It's Paulson. Can Gray get to the bag? Yes, he did. Chris Siegel down there. That was close.
Yeah, Paulson, or rather, pitcher on the mound, Gray, got caught kind of watching the play that time. It was hit like a bullet down that first baseline. Nice play by Paulson just to get to it. And once Gray stood there for a tick or two, David Peralta was smelling base hit, really busting it down that line. Oh, you got to get around him so you can make the emphatic call. Okay.
It was not the freight train that time. He was like the bullet train down to first, but
Yeah.
it looks like Gray might have beat him.
Just beat him.
So now AJ in at third with 2 outs, and here's Wellington Castillo. Nice play by Paulson there. Castillo hit into a double play his first time up, 0 for 1. Mitch, what color is the sky in your world? Mitch Riggin says orange-ish. Our director looking out over the horizon here in Colorado.
Well, the good news for the outfielders is it's gotten dark enough now where they shouldn't have any trouble tracking fly balls. We had about an inning stretch there at the beginning of the ball game where every ball that went up in the air was an adventure.
I suppose for AJ, if you're going to lose one up there, you might as well have it go over the fence because it can't drop in on you. There's that heat again from Gray. Just rearing back and firing that fastball like he's at Oklahoma. This is a power pitcher in what is supposed to be a ground ball pitcher's ballpark. Tried it again, missed at 97, 3-1. Jake Lamb would be next. Ooh, inside strike call from Mike Everett there.
Only on the outside corner, the ball strays back to the inner part of the plate. Looked like it did catch the corner.
Good location there for Gray. A.J. Pollock at third, 2 outs, 3-2 on Beef Wellington. Takes it the other way toward the right field corner. Gonzalez is there. And they strand the 1-out double. Bottom third all the way. Diamondbacks trailing 3-2.
I'm a D-back season ticket holder. Choose from full, half, series, or weekend plans. Season ticket holders enjoy exclusive benefits, access to exclusive events, flexible payment plans, and much, much more. Get more information now online at dbacks.com/tickets.
Carlos Gonzalez leads off the Rocky third against Chase Anderson. Cargo, Arenado, LeMahieu, 3, 4, and 5. That's a tough inning for any pitcher. Gonzalez drove in a run with a sacrifice fly his first time up. And he's up there swinging. 0-1. Cargo's only 1 for 9 in the series. He struck out 3 times. Shift is on for the Diamondbacks. Waves at another one. It's 0-2. Owens all by himself on the left-hand side. See Brandon Drury over right in front of second base umpire Tim Timmons. Popped him up. Jake Lamb coming in. One down for Arenado, who's at it again, a 2-run homer in his first at bat. His 33rd of the year to lead the National League. This was Arenado in the first.
Caught everybody by surprise, including the center fielder A.J. Pollock. He looking up into that gray sky, couldn't find the baseball. By the time he realizes where it is, it's out there where Bambi lives.
So Arenado now with 33 homers and 100 RBIs. He leads the National League in both categories. And it's only September 2nd, keep in mind. He's the first Rocky to 100 RBIs since Tulowitzki 4 years ago. He's homered in 3 straight games. A bouncer to Owings at shortstop. 2 down. Here's LeMahieu. He singled and stole the bases first time up. A Gold Glove second baseman last year, an All-Star this year. Now at .316 for the season, the 6 homers a career high. Chase has done a really good job, it seems, of settling in. He's trying to make short work of the toughest part of the Colorado order in this inning. And he seems to have a much better pace and rhythm right now than he did after 4 of the first 5 Rockies hitters had base hits. Since that point, he's given up only 1 hit, the Blackman double with 2 outs in the second. Missed away, and he's behind on LeMahieu, 3-1. Ben Paulson on deck.
Even when the count's in his favor, LeMahieu it doesn't necessarily look to pull the ball. He just wants to barrel it up and hit it hard somewhere. Good pitch.
3-2.
I talk about quality strikes. That's a quality strike right there. LeMahieu swings at that ball. It's going to be an easy ground ball somewhere on the infield.
That is a perfect location in any ballpark, especially this one. 50 pitches for Chase, 36 strikes. It's bounced over the mound and rolls into center, a base hit. The second consecutive inning in which the Rockies have had a 2-out base hit, and that brings up Paulson.
Very defensive inside out swing this time by LeMahieu, but the ground ball finds a hole back up the middle of the field.
What do you think about this guy? It's all about Arenado, and obviously you hear about Cargo. Used to be Tulo, but LeMahieu, a guy that's a Gold Glover, an All-Star. He's a 20 stolen base guy. He's top 10 in the league in hitting. I mean, what can't this guy do? He's a really good player, really underrated.
And one of the most fundamentally sound players, as you mentioned earlier in the series, went to LSU, and guys that come out of that program know how to play baseball.
Does a lot of things very well.
Boy, and it was really obvious early on. I had the chance to see LeMahieu play in the minor leagues with the Cubs. He played on a couple of the same teams with my son Michael, and you could see it even back in A-ball that this guy was just a little bit smarter, a little bit better than the other guys on the field.
He's a very, very flexible player in terms of where Walt Weiss can put him. Mentioned this the other day. He's the first Rocky ever to start at least one game at all 9 spots in the lineup in the same season. And LeMahieu said he doesn't care, and he hits just as well, 1 or 9. Adam cleanup, Adam fifth, wherever you want. 1 and 2 now on Paulson. And this is a guy that's done a nice job filling in for Justin Morneau's. Been out the entire summer. Been on the DL with the concussion symptoms and a neck injury. Chase is a bad pitch there, though. Chase Anderson gets him to expand the strike zone. He gets his 4th strikeout. And they strand LeMahieu. Through 3, D-backs down 3-2. Hey fans, college football is back. Fox Sports 1 has the game that everyone has been waiting for. Jim Harbaugh makes his Michigan coaching debut. His Wolverines take on the Utah Utes. It's the season's biggest opener, and the only place you can see it is on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Coverage starts tomorrow, 4 o'clock, sponsored by Geico. After a problem earlier in the week, the Ohio guy has been banned from reading that promo.
I just referred to them as the team up north. And, when you live in Ohio, Michigan is up north. That's all.
You're right.
Not derogatory.
Just geography, that's all that is.
I could tell you how I talk about the team up north with other Buckeye fans, but then we'd be taken right off the air.
Maybe it's for the best. Jake Lamb. Jake Singleton scored his first time up.
Yeah, straight changeup that time, first pitch from Gray. That's something we haven't seen much of. He's just been powering that fastball by Diamondbacks hitters, trying to incorporate the hard slider that's not breaking a whole lot.
Fastball came in with it, and Jake is down 0-2. That changeup is the pitch they have been making him throw in the minor leagues. That strict orders make him throw that changeup. because it's a pitch they believe he has to develop to have success here in this ballpark at this level.
They really have some issues with the Rockies' philosophy.
The idea that to succeed in this ballpark, you use essentially the Jorge De La Rosa model. As Lamb strikes out, which is two-seam sinkers and changeups. You don't like that?
So draft two-seam sinker ball pitchers that have good changeups. Why are you going to draft a power pitcher that throws 100 miles an hour and immediately tell him, we don't like the way you pitch. We need you to sink the ball and throw changeups. Well, then draft guys that sink the ball and throw changeups.
Well, they had, when they came up on Gray, the 3rd overall pick in the draft just 2 years ago. So he was clearly the best guy available in that spot. But you make a pretty good case.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't seem to make any sense. If you know what your home ballpark plays like and you know the kind of pitchers that you feel are going to have the best chance to win here, go get those guys. I mean, a lot of power pitchers never make that transformation. They never go from the high 4-seam, hard breaking ball.
Brandon Drury's got his first major league hit. Welcome to the big leagues. A walk and a single here against John Gray, and there's the family. High five.
Yes, indeed. Congratulations. First of many.
You better believe it with this young man. A lot of people in this organization very excited about Brandon Drury. And there's the souvenir. That's the moment. Tell you what, Brandon Drury versus John Gray is a matchup we may see a lot over the next decade or so. Chris Owings, RBI single his first time up. Drops down a beauty. Arenado is back and he's got no play. Beautiful bunt there and a heads-up play by CO. He's 2 for 2.
Chris Owings and Nick Ahmed, Ender Inciarte, those guys always take a quick peek down to third base to see where the defender is. And if there's a chance to drop that bunt down, I love to see that.
Now this is where things went off the tracks for the Diamondbacks back in the 2nd. Chase Anderson bunted into a double play. Well, he broke his back on that bunt attempt. It's perfect. Hundley's on it. Gray did the splits there, and the runners move up. So 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs. Brandon Drury, his first major league hit.
Stings it right back over the mound into center field. That's always good. Get that first one out of the way. It doesn't matter how accomplished a hitter you were at the minor league level or coming over from another organization to a new team. Until you get that first one, you wonder if you're ever going to get another one.
Just turned 23 years old about 2 weeks ago. And one of the top prospects in the Diamondback organization, getting his first taste of the big leagues. Here's Ender Inciarte. Ender walked and scored to lead off the ball game. He's 0 for 1. 2nd and 3rd, 2 down. There's another time that Gray is starting off the at-bat with something other than that hard fastball. And he got a strike with it.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations. Ender has excelled in this situation this year. A .438 hitter with runners in scoring position and 2 out.
Bounces it to Reyes at short. And the Diamondbacks strand 2. It stays 3-2 Colorado.
back in 1990, Dave Stieb of the Toronto Blue Jays pitches the Major League's 9th no-hitter of the season. That's a record for 1 year. Now, there have already been 6 this year and a lot of near misses, so a chance that we might see 3 more down the stretch. Thing about Dave Stieb is he was close in 1985, had a no-hitter in the 9th. It was broken up by a Rudy Law homer. In 1988, he had back-to-back starts where he had a no-hitter with 2 outs in the 9th inning before giving up the first hit of the game. 1989, he had a perfect game with 2 outs in the 9th inning, gave up a double to Roberto Kelly, and finally on this day in 1990, he was able to complete it.
Nick Hundley leads off the Rocky 4th against Chase Anderson. Hundley struck out his first time up. 4 of the first 5 Colorado batters in the ballgame had base hits against Chase. Since then, he's retired 8 of the last 10 he's faced with 4 strikeouts, but it's another bloop single for Colorado as Hundley dunks it into right center. You know, as we go further along the timeline here, and he talked a lot about Hall of Fame with Randy and everything this year. Dave Stieb gets more and more overlooked. He was a dominant pitcher, a really dominant pitcher for about 10 years in the American League East.
He quite possibly has the best stuff of anybody I ever caught. I mean, he had a slider that just right-handers would quake in their cleats when he was pitching. He'd throw that slider right at their front hip, sweep it all the way across the strike zone off the outside corner. He could throw hard. He was mean.
Yeah, he was one of those mean, snarly guys out there with just nasty stuff. Pitched in a lot of big games for some good Blue Jay teams. Pitched against the Yankees and the Red Sox time after time. Kyle Parker struck out his first time. Sky high pop up. Brandon Drury in foul ground, straddling that line. That catch is made in fair territory for the first out here in the 4th. Fans, now's the time. Tweet your strongest fan photo. Use the hashtag AZDataStrong, and you may see your picture at an upcoming Diamondback broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. 1 out for John Gray. Date with a D-back? Question mark. Something, Jody's on the sign there. What does that say? To send our intrepid reporter over there, Jody Jackson, to find out what's going on there. It seems like she's angling for a date with a Diamondback and trying to see if Jody can make that happen.
Well, Jody knows a guy.
Yeah. Well, we lead the league in love. We're waiting on the baby here. I mean, we got a lot of stuff. Waiting on little Goldie. If you're just joining us, Goldie is not here tonight. He flew back after the ball game last night back home to the Valley. His wife Amy has reached that moment where it's time, so Goldie will miss this game, obviously. Day off tomorrow. It's expected he'll miss Friday's series opener at Wrigley and be back on Saturday. So we won't see the Goldie-John Lester matchup in that series opener. That'll be Zach Godley for the Diamondbacks and John Lester, good pitcher for the Cubs. And then how about this? You get Lester in the opener, okay? Second game Saturday, you get Arrieta, who just threw a no-hitter. So go get him.
Well, he's due for a backslide. You know, after the no-hitter, there's always a big drop-off.
I'm going to tell that to Johnny Vandermeer. Hopefully he's taken off his onesie that he was wearing for the news conference.
Yeah, we're hoping to see Goldie back in Chicago, at least for the last 2 games of that series, and I would suggest he gets as much sleep as he possibly can before we go back to Arizona.
That's it, huh? Well, Amy has certainly earned a break.
Yes, she has.
Drury well in at third. Gray kind of waves at that one. And with first base occupied, that's the automatic strikeout. That's the 5th for Chase, 2 down. As we take a look now at the rest of the road trip, Let's Go Places, brought to you by your Valley Toyota dealer. Godley and Lester. Godley, of course, the former Cub acquired from Chicago, the Miguel Montero deal. That's the Friday matchup. We have 3 day games here. It's going to be a fun weekend. They redid the ballpark there, got all the new Diamond Division boards and that stuff up. So 3 day games. We'll have all 3 for you right here on Fox Sports Arizona.
I am just hoping that the Diamondbacks can get a boatload of base runners on against John Lester. That'll be interesting.
Because he cannot throw to first.
And the Diamondbacks love to run those bases. Of course, the key is getting on first base against John Lester.
Right now, Hundley's over there against Chase Anderson. 2 outs for Blackman, who's 2 for 2. A single, a double, he has scored a run. He's got 7 hits in the series. Holy Toledo. What?
Rodan just flew in the booth.
It's on Dan Hyatt. Get him off.
It's eating him.
A bug the size of a water buffalo just flew into the booth.
It's a praying mantis. It's on the back of his shirt over here.
Dan, get it. Don't save it. Step on it. Nope, he won't do it.
No, that's good bait.
That's the thing. It's a bug the size of a golden retriever. Just flew right in here. It's Colorado. You never know what's coming at you. Short left. 2 wants it. Owings calling for it. And Ciarte has it. And that's what's bugging you here from Coors Field. Diamondbacks trail at 3-2. Look at it. We're going to set it free. The thing that, whatever it is, Dan Hyatt, our crack researcher here, has captured. Do we know what this thing is?
I think it's a praying mantis.
Anyway, fly and be free.
Go to your home.
Oh, it's a beautiful moment. Nature. I need a tissue. That was emotional. Nice job, Dan Hyatt.
Yeah, we saved the praying mantis, and he landed in somebody's beer and drowned.
That thing came in here like it was out to get somebody. Crisis averted. We lead the league in bugs, not love.
That too.
Hello. Phil Gosselin leads off the 5th against John Gray. He's 1 for 2. Born free. I'm told that our intrepid reporter, Jody Jackson, is breaking news as we speak. When news breaks, Jody fixes it. And she is down trying to find out what's the deal with those D-back girls looking for a date. Oslin, it's a chopper to Arenado. So let's go down to Jody. Jody, what's happening down there?
Well, I'm down here alongside Amanda and Jesselyn, and yes, you guys have just moved here to Colorado from Arizona.
Yes. Yeah, we lived in Phoenix, Arizona, so in the main northern area. Yeah.
So you got the sign here, and you're looking for my help. I don't know how good my matchmaking skills are, but a date with a D-back, are you looking for one of them in particular?
I mean, anybody, really. I would take any of them, but a single one preferably, yes.
Yes, of course, of course. What about you, Jesslyn?
Same thing. Any of them that are single.
Wow, okay. I'm not really good at that kind of thing, but maybe I'll work on that.
I mean, if anybody was going to do it, it'd be you. I mean, I could ask Bob and Steve. They might not have as many people, but I feel like you've got the in. I think you could help me.
Well, of course, we're all around the players quite a lot, but yeah, Bob and Steve, they're up there for sure. I'll ask them. Maybe we can get their help, get them in on this as well. But how do you feel about, some of the guys in the truck want to know how you feel about camera guys.
Oh, who's the one that does the weather? Love?
Oh, Ralphie.
Oh, Ralph.
Do you know Ralphie just
Right, yep. Spot on weather, right?
He's always, what is it? Confidence is high with Ralph.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a little easier in Phoenix. I'd like to see him do it here and see how he does, because it's a little unpredictable here.
Yeah, I don't know. Ralphie here, it's tougher.
If he's willing to move, I think we could make it work. I do.
Wow. All right. Well, we'll work on that. Now, we've widened it out a little bit to the cameramen as well, so.
I do grounds crew, yeah. Anyone, again, willing to relocate.
David Peralta, that freight train on the tracks, and he's in at third. A triple for Peralta with 2 outs. Well, we can't get her a date with a Diamondback. I think we could, I don't know, we could talk to Mrs. Ralph, but.
I'm going to step away from this. You're on your own.
Smart move. David Peralta, well, that was one of your keys to the game, Bob. Get the train on the tracks.
Get the train rolling. Rips that ball down into the right field corner. He has thoughts about 3 right out of the batter's box. One last quick peek over the right shoulder. He shifts it into another gear. A little dangerous on the slide there. Kind of slipped off the bag. You got to make sure to stay on that base.
He's at third with 2 outs for Wellington Castillo. Arenado smothers another one. Come on. Nolan Arenado, 2-time Gold Glover, takes an RBI away from Beef Wellington. They strand Peralta at third. Well, we do have some options available. He's no Ralph Kelso, but he's a fine-looking guy. The glove.
Takes a run away here. That ball looked like it was ticketed for left field. Full extension out to his left. And then that rocket throw across the diamond for a 3rd out of the inning. You know, he's made 13 errors this season. I think a big reason is because he gets to balls most third basemen don't get to. And with that strong arm, he feels like he can throw everybody out.
Jose Reyes leads off the Rockies' 5th against Chase Anderson. Diamondbacks down 3-2. Chase, after a bumpy first, has done a nice job of settling in. Well, that's the thing that people talk about with Arenado all the time. He will try and throw you out from anywhere because more often than not he can and will. So every once in a while something goes haywire, but he is something else down there. This will be the critical inning for Chase. If he can get through Reyes, Cargo, Arenado, LeMahieu, he'll have gotten through 5 in pretty good shape. But this is the key inning for him in terms of this start. And he's done a good job, too, keeping the pitch count under control. 2-2. Diamondbacks were up 1-0 after a half inning. Jay 70 pitches, 49 strikes, but the Rockies in their first. Blackman singled, Reyes singled. Cargo had a sacrifice fly after Blackman went to third on the Reyes single. There's a fair ball for Drury. Nice throw, but Reyes is too fast. So Jose Reyes, a base hit, he's 2 for 3.
In effect, a swinging bunt with 2 strikes. Drury had backed up into a better defensive position, and then Reyes just cued that ball to the left side of the infield. Nice attempt by Drury, but too much speed for Jose Reyes.
And now they'll have to put the shift on for Cargo. You see Drury moves from third to second. He's been playing a lot of second base in the minor league, so he's not necessarily out of position right there. And here's Gonzalez.
One thing about these exaggerated pull shifts, it makes it nearly impossible to turn a double play if the ball's hit to the right side of the field. Now, that ball's hit right at Gosselin at second base right now. You've either got to have Drury run from his position to the bag at second, looking over his left shoulder for the throw, or Chris Owings is going to have to really bust it to make it to second base to get that force at second. And in the time that's going to take, probably very little chance to turn 2.
And I imagine if Owings in this case was busting it to get back to that bag, all his momentum would be carrying him toward right field, so he's got to stop, turn, and throw to first. That can't be any picnic either.
I mean, obviously you're not thinking double play. You're just thinking about plugging some holes on that right side of the field for Carlos Gonzalez. But I think that's something you'll see teams start to work on a little bit more.
Takes it the other way, but lines it in the lights, and Ender finds it. One of those hanging line drives that stays up in that bank of lights, and Ender did a nice job to get that one. Oh, you can see him just fighting those lights. Mike Harkey to the mound now. Arenado comes up. Well, Nolan Arenado has homered in 3 straight games. A 2-run homer in the first. He leads the National League in homers and RBIs. Now 33 home runs. The last time a Rocky led the National League in homers, Larry Walker back in 1997. That was the year he won the MVP. This is Arenado. Watch A.J. Pollock fight that light sky. A.J. can't find it. It carries over his head for a homer. Reyes at first, 1 out. Reyes still runs well. He's got 21 stolen bases on the year. Arenado, 7 hits in the series, a double and 3 home runs. He's got 7 RBIs. Anderson can't get a glove on it. He let it go. Goslin has it behind the bag. A long throw to get Arenado as Reyes moves up, and they'll settle for 1. It looked like Bob Chase thought to himself, you know what, let it go through. Don't tip it or deflect it that time.
I used to see Greg Maddux do that all the time on those ground balls up the middle of the field. Let them go through and hope those middle infielders are close to the bag when they field the ground ball. That time, unfortunately, Goslin was way behind the base at second, only had the throw to first to get the out.
2 down now for LeMahieu, who's 2 for 2, a pair of singles. Oh, Reyes is hung up, but no one's home. Reyes started to break toward third. He kind of lost his footing a bit there, but there was no one to catch the ball from Anderson.
Yeah, you can see how wide the middle infielders are split right there. Reyes just kept inching off farther and farther and farther at second base. Chase with that inside move at least stopped him, but there was nobody to throw the ball to.
Now there is, and he throws it away. Reyes can really run. He's thinking about it. No, he'll stop at third. It's too cold down there. Puts on the brakes. And you saw that immediate reaction of frustration from Chase Anderson as he threw it into left center field.
Yeah, just a bad throw. Almost looked like a cut fastball. Threw it back where Chris Owings was instead of where he was going to be.
So now Reyes at third with 2 outs for LeMahieu. Diamondback bullpen will get busy. Silvino Bracho just called up from AA Mobile over the weekend. Now we got birds flying in the booth. We're not coming back here this year, right? It's like Wild Kingdom up here. So here we go. Trying to get through this 5th inning. Ball 1. DJ LeMahieu, 8 for 12 in the series. Keep in mind, if you want to pitch around this guy, you've got the left-hand hitting Ben Paulson on deck, and he's got good power. There's the strike, 2-1. Chase going to have pretty good command tonight. When he was in these situations in his last 2 starts, almost every time he was able to make a big pitch in a big spot. Just inside at 95. 3-1. Six innings, just 2 runs. Friday against the A's. 6 2/3 scoreless 2 starts ago against the Reds. 2 outs. Reyes at third. 3-1 on LeMahieu. There's the strike. It's full.
Just pounding away at that outside corner here, other than the pitch that knocked LeMahieu off the plate. Everything out there, bottom of the kneecaps, outside corner.
80 pitches, 55 strikes. He rolls it to first. Jake Lamb is there, and a good job by Chase Anderson to strand that leadoff single. He's gotten through 5, and the Diamondbacks still trail at 3-2.
September 7th through the 9th, you can bring the whole family to the ballpark with the D-backs Value Pack. For just $19, you get a ticket to the game, a Subway sandwich, a Pepsi, and a coupon for a free cookie. The Value Pack is available for any game this season. Visit dbacks.com/value.
Back at Coors Field, Steve Berthune, Bob Brenly, and Jody Jackson with you. Series finale, D-backs and Rockies. Arizona down 3-2 here against rookie right-hander John Gray. Jake Lamb, Brandon Drury, and Chris Owings, 6, 7, 8 in the Arizona 6th. Jake so far has singled and struck out. He's 1 for 2. Remember, John Gray is the last time through the order avoided that fastball on the first pitch of at-bats, and he fires one in there this time. 0-1 on Lamb.
Yeah, Jake with an attempt to bunt that ball to the left side, and once again Nolan Arenado never moves. He just refuses to charge any bunt when the shift is on. He's held his position out there pretty much where the shortstop would naturally play.
One of the few teams that has the third baseman in that spot. And Jake Lamb drops it toward the right field corner. He's on the run and going to head for second here. The throw from Cargo is not in time. A hustle double for Jake Lamb. That's his 12th of the year. Jake only 1 for 7 in the series coming into tonight, but he's got 2 hits.
Went down and got that one. Picked that ball right off the dirt down into the right field corner. You can see where Carlos Gonzalez started from. By the time he got to that ball, Jake was already a step around first base, so he decides to keep on rolling. Ends up in scoring position with a leadoff double.
Well, so far in the ball game, Brandon Drury, in just his second major league start, has collected his first big league walk and his first big league base hit. A single up the middle his last time up. Now a chance maybe for his first RBI. But first, they're going to take a look at that last play. Did Jake Lamb overslide the bag on the tag there?
It looked like he ended up laying on top of the base. I don't know if his body ever completely disengaged from the bag out there. And if it did Reyes have the tag on him at that time?
It's another replay review brought to you by Mix One. Here's a look. He's on there the whole time. Oh, now the leg is on. The hand clearly comes off. The glove stays on, but the leg never left the bag. And here we go again.
Yeah, we talked about this before, but a valuable lesson for you infielders out there that happen to be watching. If you're in high school or college or whatever the case may be, as you move up the ranks, eventually you're going to have to deal with replay. And as we've seen this season, infielders that keep the tag on the runner occasionally will get that out call. You know, in the past, you just slapped the tag down in front of the bag. As soon as you made contact with the runner, you pulled your glove up out of there. But with the way we're breaking these down frame by frame by frame, infielders need to keep the tag on the runner until somebody calls timeout.
The game is changing. Jake having a discussion with Jose Reyes while they take a look in New York, and John Gray throws some warm-up pitches. John Gray's at 76 pitches right now. He's thrown over 80 pitches in a big league start, only one so far. Keep that in mind, and Walt Weiss has his bullpen busy down there. This is what drives me nuts about replay, because the same thing happened in the NFL. It's working great. You need it. It's a wonderful resource. But eventually you quickly reach the point where you are looking at, as you said, Bob, every single little frame. And you can, if you look at it enough times, talk yourself into or out of anything. And that's what they're doing in New York right now, apparently. And here we go. Safe at second. So the double for Lamb stands, his 12th on the year. And the Diamondbacks have the tying run in scoring position with nobody out in the 6th. All on the field stands. It's not confirmed, so that means there was not enough clear and convincing evidence to overturn the call. It took 2:29 to look at that one. So the Rockies lose their challenge. Here's Brandon Drury. A chance to tie the ball game right here. Updated replay review standings brought to you by Mix One. Ball one from Gray, who loses his footing that time. Rockies have a busy bullpen down there. And as Walt Weiss said, there are very specific parameters in place when John Gray is on the mound. Maybe a little bit of wiggle room, not a whole lot. They are being very careful with this young man. That is going to stay fair. Arenado was well back. The bare hand play, and they got him. Nolan Arenado. Let's have another look at this one, perhaps. He was well back at third.
Swinging bunt to that left side of the infield.
Look at how accurate that throw is.
You could clearly see on that first replay how he got his body into a position. As he was running forward, he was already leaning over to his right side, getting that hand close to the ground so he could scoop the ball barehanded and throw all in one motion.
And the Rockies infield will come in now, with Lamb at third and one out. No challenge from the Diamondbacks, so it's a 5-3 put out of Drury. And here's Chris Owings, who is 2 for 2. That's a fair ball. He laces it down the left field line. That'll tie the ball game, and Owings is on the run. CO at second, and he will stop there, an RBI double. And Chris Owings is 3 for 3. Even Arenado was not going to stop that one. That was blistered down that line.
Sometimes the best motivation for a player is to bring somebody up from the minor leagues who plays his position. Chris Owings been on fire here tonight. Rips this one past Arenado down into that left field corner. And Lamb can just walk home from third base.
And now that'll be it for Chase Anderson, who was out in the on-deck circle. He has been called back as Walt Weissel in John Gray's night right here. Jared Saltalamacchia will come in, and he'll be the pinch hitter. And that's it for Gray. Diamondbacks have come back to tie the ball game 3-3. Back in a moment. Sports Arizona is brought to you in part by Arizona Tire Pros. For the best selection of Continental and General brand tires, visit your local Arizona Tire Pros location today. By Mattress Firm, save money, sleep happy. And by Phoenix International Raceway. Join PIR on November 15th for NASCAR. Visit us at phoenixraceway.com and get your tickets now. Downtown Denver, Chase Anderson and the Diamondbacks have come back to tie the ball game 3-3, and Chase's night will end right here as Jared Saltalamacchia will be the pinch hitter, hitting for Anderson against the new Rockies pitcher, the left-hander Christian Friedrich. This is interesting, Bob, because you bring in the lefty here, that flips Salty around to the right-hand side, and lately that's been his power side.
Yeah, he touched one off just inside that foul pole in left yesterday, a long home run. See the numbers for Friedrich this season. We've seen him for 1/3 of an inning in game one. Came in to strike out David Peralta with 2 outs and nobody on.
Chris Owings, the go-ahead run at second base with 1 out after his RBI double, and here's Salty. A 197 batting average. He's got 5 homers. He homered here yesterday. From the right-hand side, there's a strike. This was Jared Saltalamacchia in game one. Initially ruled a foul ball. Clearly fair. They overturned the call, and that was number 5 for Salty. And while they were reviewing the play, Chip Hale was ejected. An ongoing discussion with Tim Timmons, who had the plate that time. 0-1 on Saltalamacchia. Well, the Colorado relief pitchers in this series have worked 12 innings and given up 8 earned runs.
Who put gas in the water can?
Here you see the platoon splits for Salty. And they're really the reverse of his career splits. He's over 280 from the right-hand side. He's homered twice this season, batting right-handed. Bob, you were talking earlier, I think it was yesterday, about Oscar Hernandez and the Rule 5 situation and the idea that it really hamstrings Chip Hale because Oscar has to have a spot on the 25-man roster as a Rule 5 pick. And so it thins the bench out a bit. There goes Owings. No throw from Hundley, and CO has the stolen base. That's his 16th of the year. But one thing that does, because you've got the emergency catcher, if you want to use that term for Oscar back there, it does let you use Salty as a pinch hitter at some point in the ball game earlier than you might normally would.
Yeah, or you might not use him at all. If you want to be very careful and make sure you have your backup catcher available, you might have to leave Salty sitting on the bench in a situation like this. So, yeah, in that respect, it does free up Salty to get some pinch hit at bats.
And he's come through 6 for 19 as a pinch hitter this year. Infield in for the Rockies with Owings at third. That misses inside. And Salty's ahead 3-1.
It seems like a long time ago now, but that's why I was such a fan of Jordan Pacheco's. You wouldn't want him to catch every day for 2 weeks at a time, but for one night, if something happened and you needed that third catcher to go behind the plate, he would do a nice job for you. And he could play other positions, and he could pinch hit. Whereas Oscar Hernandez, once again, through no fault of his own, he's a catcher, strictly a catcher.
3-2 on Saltalamacchia. Chris Owings, the go-ahead run down there at third. He did not go, Chris Siegel says down there. And that's ball 4. Salty works a 1-out walk.
Another good at bat by Jared Saltalamacchia off the bench. Was prepared to go up there and hit as a left-handed batter till Walt Weiss made the change to Friedrich. Had to just switch helmets and go up there as a righty and works the base on balls.
Now Friedrich will face the left-hand hitting Ender Inciarte. They're on the corners with a 1-out. Ender walked and scored to lead off the ball game. He's 0 for 2. He's hit safely in 5 straight games, 13 of his last 15. Owings at third, Salty at first. Ender over that last 15-game span batting better than .340. He has really picked up the offensive pace lately. Down the left field line, but foul.
And Ender's been seeing some more pitches. He's taken a couple of base on balls in this series, something we didn't see a lot of from him in the first half of the season. I'm not sure if the strike zone discipline leads to better hitting, or
trying to bunt there and bring Owings in. It's a foul ball, and it's 1-2.
Or whether the hitting brings on better strike zone discipline. But for whatever the reason, he's seeing more pitches, taking occasional walks, working some deeper counts than we're used to seeing from Ender Inciarte.
Hitting .320 since the All-Star break. Rolls it to second. LeMahieu, they get one, and that's it. The Diamondbacks take the lead. Owings home from third. It's 4-3 D-backs.
That's one time you're glad Ender did not hit the ball hard. Little slow roller to the right side of the field.
How big was that stolen base now by CO?
Huge. LeMahieu has to move to his left. No chance to complete that double play. Ender will get an RBI.
And Walt Weiss, with two right-hand hitters coming up in Goslin and Pollock, will go get his lefty. We take a break from Denver. D-backs have come back to take a 4-3 lead. Sports 1 is back, a doubleheader filled with playoff implications. First, it's the Rays and the Yankees, and then a big one in the NL Wild Card and the NL Central, the Pirates and the Cardinals. Coverage starts at 9:30 on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. From downtown Denver, D-backs lead the Rockies 4-3. New pitcher for Colorado is the right-hander Brooks Brown, called up from AAA Albuquerque before the ball game today. This is his third big league stint with the Rockies this year. He has not pitched for Colorado since the middle of June.
Well, if you're a relief pitcher at the upper levels of the minor leagues or in the big leagues for the Rockies, you're going to get on that shuttle, because you're going to go through a lot of relief pitchers over the course of the season. Starters generally have a hard time getting deep into the game here. Relievers throw a lot of pitches, a lot of innings, and occasionally you got to flip them back down to AAA and bring up a healthy arm.
Phil Goslin steps in with Inciarte at first and 2 down. Goslin 1 for 3, a single in the first. He's got 3 hits in the series. Doing that thing where he kind of looks like he's going to bunt right there. Grabs the trademark of that bat and then gets set. Pitch out, nothing doing. That's a great example of that's just in the heads now of every other National League dugout. When you're playing the Diamondbacks, they are going to run.
We talked about it in the series back home against the Oakland A's. Bob Melvin, that's all he could talk about. Geez, they steal third. They run on 3-0 counts. Everybody in the lineup steals bases. And I don't even know if the Diamondbacks attempted one against the A's in that series.
It's especially difficult, I would guess, here for Brown, because watch when he comes set at an angle. So as a right-hand pitcher, the runner at first is always behind him, but it's even more so in Brown's case because he's got that funny angle. His back really is to the runner down there. He's got that front foot way out in front. There goes Inciarte. Here's the throw from Hundley. And Ender is in there. A stolen base. That's number 15 for Inciarte.
Well, that one's on the pitcher. I mean, Nick Hundley came up out of his crouch early, got rid of the ball quickly, put it right above the bag at second. Ender just got such a big jump at first base. Not even close down there at second.
Diamondback base runners this season versus Colorado now 17 for 19 in their stolen base attempts. Now with a stolen base, we saw how critical that was earlier in this inning for Chris Owings. If Gosling can just get it through the infield, it's another run. A high hopper to Reyes. They strand Inciarte, but the Diamondbacks get two and take a 4-3 lead. Chris Owings 3 for 3, his second RBI on the double. He later came in to score, and it's 4-3 Diamondbacks. D-backs lead the Rockies 4-3. Hey fans, follow the Diamondbacks wherever you are with MLB.com at Bat. It's the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment, at any moment, with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. You can get MLB.com at Bat for your smartphone or tablet. Bottom 6 at Coors Field. Beautiful night here in downtown Denver. Steve Berthune, Bob Brentley, and Jody Jackson with you. The pitcher for the Diamondbacks. Now with a 4-3 lead, it's the right-hander, Randall Delgado.
Saw Delgado in game 1 of this series in relief of Robbie Ray. Pitched an inning in the third, gave up 1 base hit, walked a batter, but otherwise zeros across the board.
And Paulson leads it off for the Rockies. Diamondbacks have the shift on. Paulson so far 0 for 2. D-backs lead at 4-3. This is the 27th consecutive game between these two teams here in this ballpark at Coors Field, in which one team has scored at least 4 runs. As Paulson dunks that into left center, a base hit. 27 straight games between these two teams at Coors in which a team has scored at least 4.
You know, and that doesn't even surprise me. Some other ballparks, other teams, maybe you'd say, wow, that's highly unusual, but not in this ballpark against this pitching staff.
And a lot of the damage has been done by the Diamondbacks. They've played the Rockies just this year 15 times. And they've totaled at least 10 hits in 12 of those 15 games. And the D-backs this year hitting .322 versus Colorado. Paulson aboard to lead it off. Here's Hundley. Headed for the right field corner. Peralta's there near the line. 1 away. Brings up Kyle Parker. Parker, a first-round pick by the Rockies 5 years ago, was a quarterback at Clemson. 26th overall selection. Decided baseball was the way to go. He's played in just under 30 games with the Rockies this year, 183 and 3 homers. His one hit in the series was his long home run into the trees out there in straightaway center yesterday in the first game of the doubleheader. It was a long home run.
Well, they pretty much all were in the ball game yesterday, except for AJ's little 390-foot blooper to right field.
Opposite field into the bullpen. This is Kyle Parker. Watch where this one goes. This just doesn't clear the fence. It's about halfway up the trees out there.
That's back there where Fernando Rodney was sitting when the Mariners came to town. I don't know if you saw the highlights of that, but he took a folding chair and went back there in the woods and communed with nature for a while.
Oh, he's having a moment of zen. Pitcher spot is up next, and Willeen Rosario is in the on-deck circle. One and two on Parker. Rosario's he's got some purple going on there. It looks like he's animated. Those feet moving. 2-2.
We talk all the time about keeping hitters uncomfortable. Don't let them get comfortable diving out over the plate, taking away the outside corner from the pitcher. And that doesn't mean you have to throw at their head. Doesn't mean you have to hit them or knock them down. That was a perfectly executed pitch right there just to keep Parker honest.
How important is the idea that you will establish the fact that you will pitch inside?
Oh, I think it's huge. You know, you don't want to get the reputation as a headhunter that's going after guys, but I think it's a very valuable part of any pitcher's repertoire. You know, we talk about hitting, and it all starts with your base. Get your legs underneath you, drive off that back leg. Well, if you have to move your feet and move your legs on an inside pitch, you're not going to be as anxious to dive out there on the next one.
Paulson takes off on the 3-2 pitch.
I mean, there's hitters in baseball. I mean, you know, I watched Aramis Ramirez play in Chicago for years, and if you threw a pitch inside hard to Aramis Ramirez in his first at bat of a series, he wouldn't think about leaning out over that plate for the next 3 games. Establish that you are going to work both sides of the plate aggressively, and it keeps the hitter honest. He has to stay in his batter's box. He has to stay in his lane and give the pitcher that outside corner of the plate.
Paulson takes off again. It's up the middle, right to Goslin at second, and they get the double play. A nice gift there for Randall Delgado. Gosselin went to the second base bag to cover with Paulson running. And Parker hit it right to him. We are through 6. It's 4-3 Diamondbacks. That was the Cox Gig Alive high-speed highlights. 7th inning here from Coors Field. Diamondbacks lead the Rockies 4-3. D-backs trying to make it 3 straight. And a series win here in Colorado. The right-hander Brooks Brown still out there. He'll work to A.J. Pollock, David Peralta, and Wellington Castillo. 3, 4, and 5 in the Diamondbacks 7th. A.J. has a double and an RBI sac fly. Batting third for Chip Hale tonight. No Goldie if you're just joining us. Paul, after the ball game last night, flew home to the Valley. And he and his wife Amy expecting today. And still no word yet on little Goldie. Well, we're out here pacing in the waiting room like the old Dick Van Dyke show. You know, Laura Petrie's back there having little Richie. We don't know what's going on up here. Goldie, it's expected, will miss the first game against the Cubs on Friday on paternity leave and be back Saturday. 2-0 on AJ. So fly ball to right center, Charlie Blackmon. So tonight it's Jake Lamb at first and the rookie Brandon Drury at third. A lot of Diamondback fans here all week long. Great to see. He's shy.
She's not.
Apparently. David Peralta, 2 for 3, a single and a triple. The triple is 9th of the year. Bunts it away from the shift. There you go, Bob. And it rolls foul. David, with 9 triples, now leads the National League.
Just a little bit too fine, a little bit too close to that third base line. Just enough side English to spin it over onto the dirt and then into foul territory.
It's just strike one. David with 5 hits in the series. And how about this? 21 RBIs in his last 26 games. And now with 71 on the year, 1 more RBI and he will have doubled his RBI total from last season. Boy, between Peralta and Pollock, Diamondbacks don't win Player of the Month for August. We're going to start an investigation.
How about co-players of the month for August? Both of them D-backs. That would be awesome.
I like it. That one is trying to stay fair, and it's foul. So we'll do it again for David. Back that train up one more time.
Getting his wind sprints in.
Funny to hear about his teammates talk about David Peralta and the first time they ever saw him. A.J. Pollock was talking about that. Nobody knew who David Peralta was. He was not in big league camp last spring. And they'd heard about him. They heard he was a converted pitcher, and they saw him swing. And A.J. said, how does a guy with that kind of bat speed, how is he ever a pitcher?
Yeah. Well, of course, we never saw David on the mound.
Yeah.
He might have been dazzling at one point.
He would have wound up a pretty good hitting pitcher anyway. 1-2.
Well, certainly wouldn't be a factor at this point of the season. You wouldn't think so with the expanded rosters and extra arms available in the bullpen. But I wonder, when regular 25-man roster, if you get jammed up and need somebody to pitch, I wonder if David could still do it. We all assumed Cliff Pennington would be the emergency pitcher when he was a part of the Diamondbacks. I'm not sure who it would be now.
Penny was dying for his chance.
Yeah, he was.
He would throw that knuckleball on the side before every game. He couldn't wait. Of course, Penny, he could have, especially after he went out to left field in Anaheim and a couple of times after that, he could have done a Bert Campaneris and played all 9 positions.
Yeah.
Easy. Because he was the emergency catcher. He had his own set of catching gear. He could have done that.
Of course, he didn't have stuff like Gracie.
Yeah, nobody does. I think that's the anniversary today, isn't it? I think it might be. Hold on. 3-2 now on Peralta. Yeah, on this date in 2002, Mark Grace, the second D-back position player ever to pitch. He gave up David Ross's first career home run. Worked 1 inning and a 19-1 loss to the Dodgers. He's trying to get through, but Paulson is there. Brown covers. 2 outs. And if you haven't seen it, you should. Here it is. September 2nd, 2002.
Does his Mike Fetters impersonation. And then David Ross hits one up into Friday's front row grill.
Gracie joined Steve Finley, who worked a scoreless inning August 30th in 01 in a loss to the Giants.
I'll tell you what, not to blow my own horn, but that was one of my better managerial moves.
Now, why is that exactly?
We were getting absolutely annihilated. And you could just sense everybody in the dugout, oh, man, we're getting crushed. We're getting killed. Oh, this is horrible. And, the Dodgers were over there hooping and hollering and laughing and giggling, and we bring Gracie into the ball game. And it just like everybody in the ballpark just took a deep breath and had a smile on their face, and we walked out of the dugout after getting our rear ends kicked, laughing and having fun, and couldn't wait to get back to the ballpark tomorrow. The Dodgers were ticked.
Why would they be ticked?
I think they just thought that we were having a little too much fun in a 19-1 beating. I don't know. You could just sense it when the Dodgers left the field that night. You'd have thought they got beat.
Wow. The comedic effect, it worked.
Yeah. There's a place for humor in this game, and Gracie on the mound was humorous.
Of course, we're headed to Chicago after this. Wrigley Field. The Cubs will see David Ross.
Yeah.
He was John Lester's personal catcher. Or usually is anyway.
He just got back with the team. He was away for a while for a personal family medical emergency. It was never specified exactly what it was, but he was gone for a few days.
1-2 on Beef Wellington.
The funny thing about Mark Grace pitching in that game was he had never pitched at any level at any time.
Well, how'd you pick him?
He kind of volunteered.
Hard to believe. Really?
I mean, I assumed, everybody in the big leagues at some point was a pitcher in Little League or wherever, and then gradually they gravitated to a position where they settled in. Some guys gravitated to the mound and stayed pitchers, but Gracie said he had never pitched an inning.
Now, did you ask for volunteers, or was it his idea?
It was kind of a community effort, Mel and I were talking there, what are we going to do here? We don't want to throw any more arms out there. We don't want to use a starting pitcher. Well, let's take a roll call here and see who wants to pitch. And Gracie was right there.
Well, Brooks Brown works a 1-2-3 inning. We stretch at Coors. It's 4-3 Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks have come back again on these Rockies. D-backs after one inning trailed at 3-1. Chase Anderson did a nice job of settling down after a very bumpy first. And the Diamondbacks have chipped away here, led by Chris Owings, who's 3 for 3. 2 singles, a double, 2 RBIs. And Randall Delgado back out there for his second inning of work. And now with the pitcher spot leading off the 7th for the Rockies. We'll see Christian Adames, the switch hitter, bat from the left-hand side to lead it off. Just called up with expanded September rosters, 2 for 4 with a double in the series so far. His only big league games this year, it was at AAA Albuquerque all season. And hit .311 there. He's got some pop. He had 11 homers in the minors this year. Rockies bullpen is busy right now. It's a little quiet down there for the Diamondbacks. Oh, 0-2.
Well, depending on pitch count, this could be one of those games where you try to extend Randall Delgado and see if he can even possibly finish this game. We got an off day tomorrow. The bullpen coming back on Friday should be all locked and loaded and ready to go.
Well, he was stretched out a bit after that start, certainly on the last road trip in Cincinnati. Didn't go very well, but he could do it. He could give you 3 innings, that's for sure. Maybe even 4. And they put him back in the bullpen after that start against the Reds. Here's the Rocky bullpen, because Chip Hill said they needed Randall in these types of situations. 6th, 7th inning, 1-run ball game. Reaches down and rolls it into right center. Adames aboard with a base hit. He's thinking 2 here, but he'll stop at first with a leadoff single. So the leadoff man aboard for the 2nd straight inning against Randall Delgado. And here's Charlie Blackmon. And the D-backs bullpen will get busy. Keith Hessler just called back up from the minor leagues today. Will start warming up. Now you've got Blackman, the lefty, up here. Reyes on deck as a switch hitter. And then Cargo, the lefty, behind him. Blackman 2 for 3, a single, a double. He has scored a run. Brandon Drury comes in from third as Blackman shows bunt and takes ball one. His second major league start, Brandon Drury. Just got his first big league hit earlier tonight. A base hit up the middle off John Gray. Blackman has hit safely in every game in this series. EY Senior coaching down there at first.
Yeah, check on the runner. I always like that as a good time to hit and run. You show bunt on the first pitch. The pitcher misses the zone, so he's immediately behind in the count 1-0. The infield draws in expecting a bunt on the second pitch, and then you start the runner and turn the batter loose.
Blackman with very good success against Randall in his career. Drury stays in on the grass at third. Base hit. He knocks it into right. Adames can run. He's in at third. And Blackman sneaks in at second.
Man.
Peralta overthrew the relay man, and the Rockies have second and third. Nobody out.
Well, you'd think after seeing Yasmani Tomas do it twice in one ball game and get scolded for it afterwards that David Peralta wouldn't make the same mistake, but mails everybody, allowing Blackman to move into scoring position, representing the go-ahead run.
They score that a single. Blackman takes second on the throw. Conference time. You've got Hessler throwing in the bullpen. If you wanted to go with Hessler here, you could flip Reyes around and have him bat right-handed. He's better from the left-hand side. About 50 points better, in fact. Tying run at third, go ahead run at second, nobody out. Here's Reyes, who's 2 for 3. Now the right-hander Silvino Bracho, who was throwing earlier in the ball game, will get up and start throwing in the bullpen. Bracho the righty, Hessler the lefty. Imagine you have one guy up for Cargo there and the other for Arenado if it comes to that. That's a strike, 1-1. Got the call there from Mike Everett behind the plate. Not that time, 2-1.
Trying to go right back to the same pitch in the same spot, just missed a little bit low that time. Which is good, miss in your favor. If you're trying to hit the outside corner at the knees, either miss farther away or farther down.
Is down that time. 3 balls and a strike. We got Cargo on deck. Arenado behind him. Oh, EY Sr. still got those hands. The old second baseman.
Big hop. Didn't have to bend over far.
Well, that's because he can't. 3-2 on Reyes. EY's one of the best. Boy, Delgado in a real mess here. Adames the tying run, Blackman the go-ahead run. Nobody out, 3-2. Reyes really upset with himself. He just kind of chopped at that one.
He finally got a pitch up in the zone. He thought he should have lifted in the air to the outfield and just fouled it off harmlessly on the third base side. Everything in this at bat has been down, down, down. Finally got one up in the zone. And frustrated with himself, he didn't do more with it.
One more time on 3-2. Ball 4. Bases are loaded, nobody out. For Cargo and Arenado. He wants the lefty. Keith Hessler will come in, bases loaded, to face Carlos Gonzalez back after this. You're in a real mess. Bases loaded, nobody out, trying to hold on to a one-run lead. And Keith Hessler, the lefty, recalled from the minor leagues today, is in. He's worked 5 1/3 big league innings with the Diamondbacks over 8 appearances and has given up 9 runs on 12 hits, including a pair of homers. And has allowed runs in each of his last 3 innings with the D-backs, once at Pittsburgh, twice at Cincinnati on the last road trip. And he gets Cargo, bases full, no outs in a 1-run game.
This is probably his only hitter of the ball game right here.
You got the right-hander Arenado on deck. I'm sorry, Glenn.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Right-hander stacked up behind him. Got Bracho warmed up and ready to go in the bullpen. This is your guy.
Well, Cargo has not exactly crushed lefties this year. Just over 190. He is 0 for 2 tonight. Had an RBI sac fly back in the first. He did not go. Todd Tishner down at third, 1-0. Gonzalez 1 for 11 in the series. He has struck out 3 times. Just did get a piece of it, 1-1. Gonzalez, since the All-Star break, 38 RBIs in 41 games. Drives it to right, and that ball is gone. A grand slam off the facing of the second deck. 7-4 Colorado. His 4th career grand slam.
Like a breaking ball that just didn't take the break here at Coors Field, and Cargo knew it the moment he made contact. That was a monster line drive homer.
Back after this. A game against the Reds to essentially get one man. It was Joey Votto, and Votto homered. And it was the same scenario here, only Carlos Gonzalez just hit a grand slam 458 feet to make it 7-4 Rockies. And here's the rookie right-hander Silvino Bracho on to face Nolan Arenado. 112 miles an hour off the bat of Carlos Gonzalez for a 4-run homer.
Well, the good news is the Diamondbacks offense still has outs left in the ball game. As long as you have outs left in the game in this ballpark, you've got a chance.
After the grand slam by Cargo, here is the National League home run and RBI leader, Nolan Arenado, who had a 2-run homer of his own back in the first. What are your thoughts so far on what you've seen from young Silvino Bracho? It's our third or fourth look at him.
He's got some deception to his delivery. He got a little bit of a herky-jerky start to his delivery to home plate. I think occasionally that can affect a hitter's timing and rhythm up there at the plate. This stuff looks like it plays. I haven't seen him consistently pound that strike zone the way you'd like to, but I think there's something there to work with.
A very good minor league track record over a couple of years for Silvino Bracho as that one reaches the seats.
He hides the ball well, keeps his back turned to the hitter almost until the point he's ready to stride forward and let that ball go. Closes up that front shoulder.
Mobile this year, Bracho worked just over 44 innings, had 59 strikeouts and only 9 walks. Well, it's another Coors Field game, 7-4. Rockies have 12 hits, 10 for the Diamondbacks. Three and one on Nolan Arenado. Arenado and Bracho. So far for Colorado in this inning, single, walk, homer. And 3 and 2 on the Rockies' third baseman. Brandon Drury's right there. One down. Well, we finally paid Arenado back.
Yeah. Take that. See how you like it.
Yeah. And stay out of here. DJ LeMahieu now. Two singles tonight. He's got 8 hits in the series. Talked about the continued evolution of DJ LeMahieu. Bob, you mentioned you've seen a lot of him back from his days with the Cubs. He used to have a big-time front leg kick at the plate, and he has really toned that down this year. That front foot is much more quiet and gets down a whole lot quicker. And you can't argue with the results.
Keep everything just a little more compact. You don't get fooled quite as much by off-speed pitches or breaking balls.
Watch how quickly that front foot gets down.
Another thing that LeMahieu does that occasionally will fool an infielder, his front side flies wide open.
Now, what does that mean?
He starts with an open stance. His front shoulder flies open. His front hip flies open, but he hits a lot of balls to right field. You know, if you see this kind of a swing, that looks like it's designed to pull the ball to the left side of the field, but he almost always drives it the other way. Everything about his swing tells you pull, but yet the contact goes the other way.
Top 10 in the league in hitting.
Rolled over that one.
Fair ball, a long throw by Drury. Brandon Drury throws him out. What a play. The rookie third baseman with a spectacular defensive play there for the second out here in the seventh. Let's make that our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play of the game. Brandon Drury from foul ground.
Wow.
Right next to Stu Cole over there, the third base coach.
That's Nolan Arenado territory over there in foul ground. Throwing off his right foot, a rainbow across the diamond. Nice stretch over there by Jake Lamb to get the out.
Bracho and Drury have played together for most of the year down at AA Mobile. Here's the Drury family. Shift is on now for Ben Paulson. Paulson singled his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Drives that to center. A base hit. This guy's done a nice job for Colorado. Take a look at our State Farm report of the ball game. A look down on the farm. Last night for the Reno Aces, I was following this game on Twitter actually. The Aces have a great Twitter feed. If you're on the Twitter, follow the Reno Aces because they give you great game updates. Aaron Blair, 8 innings of 4-hit ball. He had 5 strikeouts, and Jamie Romack a homer.
Jamie Romack and Peter O'Brien also both named to the All-PCL team. The 4th time in the last 7 years that the Reno Aces have had at least 2 representatives on the PCL All-Star team.
Nick Hundley 1 for 3, a single in the 4th. Now, if you use the Twitter to follow the D-backs, make sure you follow all the minor league teams. They really do a great job of giving the roster updates from games. The Reno Aces, the Mobile Bay Bears have a great Twitter account. Visalia Rawhide.
Sometimes you can get a scoop, right? I mean,
oh, yeah.
You hear information coming from the source before it's out there publicly.
Kane County Cougars do a terrific job. You can keep an eye on prospects. This is driven deep to center. It backs up Pollock on the run at the track, and he won't get there. And one hops the wall. A break for the Diamondbacks. Paulson will have to stop at third. That was barreled up by Nick Hundley. The 5th hit in the inning for the Rockies.
Fortunately hit to the deepest part of the ballpark out there in straightaway center on a line. AJ looked like he had a beat on it, but just couldn't quite get there as it's up and over the wall for a book roll double.
5 hits and a walk in the inning for Colorado. Mike Harkey to the mound now to talk to Bracho as Kyle Parker, the 9th man to bat in this inning, comes up for the Rockies. You know, the D-backs, after sweeping yesterday's doubleheader, 10-5 against the Rockies this year, and 5-3 here at Coors, but they've come unglued in the 7th, down trail at 7-4. We are on an airplane right after this ball game, headed to Chicago. Day off tomorrow. First of 3 day games from Wrigley Field against the Cubs, coming up on Fox Sports Arizona. Friday morning, Zach Godley and John Lester in the opener on Friday. And hopefully Goldie back from paternity leave on Saturday. Robbie Ray and Jake Arrieta in that game. Ruby De La Rosa and Kyle Hendricks on Sunday. Here's Kyle Parker, 0 for 3. Bracho now, second and third, 2 outs, trying to keep this a 3-run deficit. And a 4-run Rocky 7th. Rockies have trailed virtually the entire series. And we haven't seen Dinger, haven't seen hide nor hair of Dinger. But now, after the 4-run 7th, this is usually where Dinger crawls out from under his rock, makes an appearance. Dinger, the front-running mascot. There's a drive to right center field. AJ in the gap, and he runs it down. Saves 2 runs right there and keeps it a 7-4 ball game. We'll go to the 8th. Diamondbacks have some work to do here. Here's what's next, brought to you by CenturyLink. We'll see Chris Owings in the Arizona 8th so far. CO 3 for 3. Trail the Rockies 7-4 as we start the 8th, and the new pitcher for Colorado, the veteran left-hander Boo Logan, his 50th appearance of the year.
Big time strikeout numbers, 38 punch-outs in 30 2/3 innings this year. He will lose the zone from time to time, as the 16 walks will tell you.
Logan just off the DL Tuesday. He'd been injured with left elbow inflammation since the middle of August. Defensive change behind him. Kyle Parker comes out and Brandon Barnes takes over in left. Lamb, Drury, Owings 6, 7, 8, and the Diamondbacks 8th. D-backs have been out hit 14-10. They trail at 7-4. And the Rockies will put the shift on for Jake Lamb. Jake 2 for 3. A single, a double. He scored twice. Well, it's been a series worth of long tape measure Coors Field home runs, and we'll see if the D-backs can answer the cargo grand slam. It's been like that since really the third inning of the first game when A.J. Pollock hit that long homer for the Diamondbacks. Speaking about the long home runs, our crack researcher and bug freer, Dan Hyatt, looked this up. There's the purple row of seats. That's a mile high. That's 5,280 feet. 1-2 on Lamb. Called strike 3. So far, we've had 11 home runs be hit in this series between the two teams. And they have totaled 4,862 feet. So if the Diamondbacks can hit one more homer, that goes at least 418 feet. We will have in this series hit 1 mile's worth of home runs.
About that. Seems appropriate.
Sure does. Walt Weiss matching them up. 7-4 in the 8th. Back in a moment. Colorado, DirecTV gives us a look at the National League West standings. And the Dodgers have, it's been a very close and dramatic series, but it's been all LA so far against the Giants, and they lead tonight behind Kershaw 2-1 in the 7th in Dodger Stadium. Now 5.5 up on the Giants and 10 games ahead of the Diamondbacks.
I told Clayton Kershaw has 10 punch-outs in that ball game.
Well, Walt Weiss goes back to his bullpen. He brought in the lefty Boone Logan to get the lefty Jake Lamb. And now with the right hand hitting Brandon Drury and Chris Owings due up, he'll go to the righty Justin Miller. Just recalled from AAA Albuquerque before the ball game today, his 4th visit with the Rockies this year. He has been up and down all season long. So here's the rookie Brandon Drury at third base tonight. His first big league hit, a single in the 4th. He's also walked tonight, 1 for 2. This was Brandon Drury's first major league hit off John Gray. First of many. And the Drury family here all week with us. In from Oregon. Along the left field line, drifting toward the seats and out of play. Well, Dave Stewart said this week the front office and the coaches really want to see what Brandon Drury is capable of doing. And they are in a really good situation now. There's all kinds of depth all around the infield with different guys, a lot of ability and a lot of talent. And this has been one of the prize acquisitions. Came over in the Justin Upton deal from the Braves. That trade's looking better and better as we go on. And they know that they have something here in this young man. Just turned 23 last month. They got a good look this spring at Brandon Drury, who hit .435 in spring training this year in big league camp with 3 home runs. Looked very impressive. Reyes comes in from shortstop on the short hop and throws him out. 2 down. Well, here's the man who's had the big bat for the Diamondbacks tonight. It's Chris Owings, the shortstop. 3 for 3. 2 singles, a double, 2 RBIs. He scored a run. All this talk this week about the D-backs infield options moving forward now that Drury's here. A lot of discussion about that. Nick Ahmed and Chris Owings certainly both in the shortstop picture. Another guy who's in the crowded infield mix for next year is Jack Reinheimer. Now, Reinheimer is the middle infielder the Diamondbacks got from Seattle along with Wellington Castillo in the Mark Trumbo deal. He's at AA Mobile right now. And he is really impressing the scouts. He's hitting about .270 with the Bay Bears, a .350 on base. But by all accounts, he has looked very good playing shortstop and some second base. He's only 23. Pitcher spot due up next. Tomas in the on deck circle. So when you're looking at Owings and Ahmed and Lamb, don't forget Reinheimer. You'll see him next spring. And I believe in the fall league, too. Just inside. Yeah, Jack Reinheimer will be playing for the Salt River Rafters in the fall league this year. So D-backs fans, come on out to Salt River Fields and watch the Rafters play the fall league. Get a look at a guy who will be in the shortstop mix next year, Jack Reinheimer. 1-2 on Owings. They retire Owings for the first time. So Logan and Miller get the job done for the Rocky bullpen in the 8th inning. 7-4, Diamondbacks trailing. For the Diamondbacks, it's the right-hander Matt Stites. Up again with the D-backs with September roster expansion. He's worked only 2 1/3 big league innings this year after 37 appearances with the Diamondbacks last season. He has pitched most of this year at AAA Reno. 23 appearances for Phil Nevin's Aces, a 3.86 ERA, and as many walks as strikeouts.
A lot of our focus has been on the position players that have been recently called up and the opportunity they're going to get down the stretch here to show what they can do moving forward with this organization. The same thing goes for a lot of these young arms in the bullpen. Saw a little bit of Matt Stites last year, getting an opportunity here in the last month of the season to get some innings under his belt.
And he'll work to the left fielder Brandon Barnes, who checked into the ball game after the double switch by Walt Weiss. Pitcher spot now 8th for the Rockies. Barnes, .259, a pair of homers. He's 1 for 5 in the series. He struck out 3 times. Oh, 2. In the air, right field for Peralta. Hey fans, as promised, let's take a look at our AZ Data Strong fan photo. And the winner is Katie. That's brought to you by T-Mobile. D-back Nation. Blackman 3 for 4. 2 singles, a double. He has scored twice. This guy's had himself a series. 8 hits.
I think Charlie Blackman puts that eye black on when he wakes up in the morning.
I don't think he ever takes it off. Wouldn't look right. Off the foot of Stites, it kicks up in the air. Look at Chris Owings. Wow, what a play. It pops straight up off the mound. It looks like it went off Stites' foot or ankle, and CO was right there to get Blackman, who runs really well.
Lucky bounce right there for the Diamondbacks as it looked like it hit Stites in the foot, as you said, and CO just gets under it like a high chopper up the middle of the field and fires across in time to get Blackman at first. Never quit on a play.
He has played some spectacular defense at shortstop in this series. Here's Reyes. Stites throwing hard, mid-90s. 1-0. It wasn't even close.
Not even close.
That ball hung up there for a long time, too. Hey, Reyes just slaps at the ball sometimes. It's a little choppy slap. Saw that in the last at bat. He's won a batting title. He's always been a very good hitter. Four times an All-Star, led the majors in stolen bases 3 straight years. Chops at that one. It knocks down Lamb at first, and Reyes is aboard. Well, Jake Lamb in there for Goldie, who's about to become a dad.
That second bounce came up a lot higher than Jake was anticipating. Almost caught him in the face right there.
Well, that's a Tony Kubek bad hop right there. Ooh. Tony Kubek, the old Yankee shortstop, had the mother of all bad hops one time. Got him right in the throat. That's a base hit for Reyes. Well, here's Cargo again. A grand slam his last time up. Off the facing of the second deck. This was Cargo against Keith Hessler. It was 4-3 Diamondbacks. That made it 7-4. The grand slam, Cargo's 20th career home run versus the Diamondbacks, his most against any team. Matt Stites throwing hard.
That's the same hitter that hit that grand slam. Got fooled badly by that pitch.
It's good to see Matt Stites healthy. He has really had some health issues all winter and spring long. Took him a while to get going this year. Gives this one a ride. Peralta at the track, at the wall, and that ball is gone. Carlos Gonzalez, his second home run tonight. He's got 7 RBIs, and it's 9-4 Rockies.
Slam came on a breaking ball that didn't break, and this one was on a changeup that just kind of fluttered up there on the inside part of the plate. Diamondbacks pitchers have been throwing fastballs right by Cargo in this series, and he hurts him badly on a couple of off-speed pitches here tonight.
And now he's tied Nolan Arenado for the National League home run lead, and here's Arenado, who homered back in the first. We said we needed one more home run to reach a mile in distance. That's not what we had in mind. A 7 RBI night for Carlos Gonzalez. And Arenado won't stop hitting. Seven RBIs for Cargo, a career high, a mile high here at Coors. DJ LeMahieu now. He's 2 for 4, a couple of singles. Matt Stites battled elbow trouble all spring long. He was out for almost all of spring training. Opened the season on the DL. Didn't get back until the first week of June. So he's really playing catch up here, but he looks healthy. Certainly as healthy as we've seen. A mid-90s fastball tonight. Trying to work his way back. Pitched at the University of Missouri, a 17th round pick by the Padres in the draft 4 years ago. Diamondbacks got him at the deadline 2 years ago in a deal that sent Ian Kennedy to San Diego. Up the middle and into center, a base hit for LeMahieu, his third tonight.
Just out of the reach of Matt Stites out there on the mound. Second base umpire Tim Timmons had to jump out of the way as that one rolled through into center field for the 18th hit in the ball game for the Rockies.
And their 4th in a row against Matt Stites. Chip Hale on the phone. A.J. Schugel. Ben Paulson. Paulson's 2 for 4. Boy, the Rockies 4 in the 7th. Now 2 more here in the 8th. Coors Field, you can never lead by enough. Sky high pop up along the right field line. Phil Gosselin drifting out there with Lamb, and they collide, but Jake hangs on. We got Jake playing essentially out of position tonight. He's played a little bit down there, but he had a rough inning there at first. Rockies get 2 more. They lead at 9-4. Rockies 9-4. And big surprise, Bob. I know this is going to shock you, so make sure you're sitting down. Okay. Making his first appearance of the series, right in his spot, it's Dinger, the front-running mascot. I mean, this is typical Dinger. I mean, the Rockies have trailed the entire series for the most part. Their earlier win was a walk-off. They came back in the 9th, but you didn't see Dinger anywhere. Well, he just crawled out from under his rock to celebrate the 9-4 lead.
I will correct you there, partner. He did come out and participate in the dental hygiene race that they have here between the toothpaste, the toothbrush, and the tooth. Dinger finished a distant 4th.
Well, he can barely walk. Yasmani Tomas. Yeah, that thing is, they got to get something else. Tomas, 288, 8 home runs. He's 2 for 19 as a pinch hitter this year. Hitting for the pitcher. Yeah, it's like a thing of floss, races a toothbrush and a tooth or something. And Dinger usually lags behind. He doesn't really race. He just
way behind.
Oh, it's like he runs along. He just wants to be involved. It's sad, really. Oh, 2. Tomas 1 for 4, a single, couple of strikeouts in his start in Game 1 yesterday. And he strikes out to open up the ninth. A second major league start and game for Brandon Drury. His first big league hit, a single up the middle in the fourth against John Gray. The whole family's here. And a tremendous defensive play here from the third base coach's box.
Nicely done.
Right behind Silvino Bracho, Brandon Drury. And you'll be seeing a lot more of that young man. Here's Ender Inciarte. Dinger. Ender walked and scored in the first. And an RBI ground ball in the sixth.
Well, whoever picked the name was really on to something.
Yeah, who knew, right? It's a good name. Dinger, Coors Field, home runs. That makes sense.
Yeah, it all makes sense.
And Dinger's he's a fine mascot. He's a dinosaur. You know, you got all kinds of archaeology there, whatever it is. What are they, where they dig up the bones? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just his, you know, he's a front runner. You don't see the guy, or whatever he is, when they're losing, only when they win. Then you see Dinger. This is popped up. Paulson has it in foul ground for the second out. Well, it's on an airplane after this ball game. We are headed to Chicago. Day off tomorrow. 3 against the Cubs. 3 day games, keep in mind. This could be a fun weekend. 3 day games at Wrigley Field against those Cubs. Have all 3 for you here on Fox Sports Arizona. Diamondback Live pregame show starts at 10:30. It's breakfast with the D-backs Friday. Zach Godley will start that game against John Lester. Tony La Russa was talking about that on the Doug and Wolf show this morning on the radio, talking about the atmosphere that they expect in that ballpark with the Cubs right in the thick of it. And Tony wants to make sure that the Diamondbacks make an impression and to show the Cubs and everybody, because there's going to be a lot of attention on that series given what's happening with the Cubs this year. He wants everybody to know that really, really good things are happening with this Diamondbacks organization. And they've come a long way back from 98 losses last year, and they are moving in the right direction. And so all eyes will be on the Diamondbacks this weekend. No one on Gosselin. LeMahieu at second. And the Rockies win the ball game. They salvage a split of this 4-game series led by Carlos Gonzalez, who tonight had a career-high 7 RBIs. Diamondbacks trail